You do not have to trust her to love her. That is a myth. Female haters want to fuck me.
Repeat after me. Flush your condoms.
And male haters want to beat me. It's that simple.
Wait a minute. You actually thought you were the only guy she was fucking?
But she told me she loved me.
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 435th edition of CSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. It is Thursday, April 11th, 2019. It is good to have you guys in. Now, it is Thursday. You guys normally, obviously, I'm supposed to be on the air Monday through Thursday from 1 to 3, but incidentally enough, I asked a bunch of people to be on my show. Usually my stick rate is about 50%, so if I ask 10 guys to be on my show, 5 of them say yes, 4 of them end up showing up. But in this particular instance, they all decided to say yes. So I'm actually going to be having a show tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm going to have, oh God, who the hell am I going to have on tomorrow? I think I'm going to have on Goldman Unleashed. He's coming on tomorrow, and Anthony Johnson of 21 Studios is going to be coming on tomorrow. So it's going to be, again, great week of shows to relaunch the show. So in today's show, in this particular episode, I'm going to have Gay Lube Oil on at 2 o'clock Eastern in just under an hour, at the top of the hour. He's going to be discussing some interesting red pill thoughts. He's looking to sort of not really take the red pill in another direction, but, you know, we normally discuss things like hypergamy, monkey branching, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It is his assertion that while these things are true, it's time to start sort of expanding the red pill horizon and talk about other concepts of red pill thinking other than just the normal rhetoric. You know, a lot of guys have taken the red pill and they're kind of looking not necessarily for something new, but maybe expanding their repertoire. So he's going to be on at 2 o'clock Eastern to discuss those concepts. I'm also going to talk about 2 lies you need to tell your woman and 2 lies you need to stop telling your woman. I'm going to talk about how to shit test women. And here in about a half an hour, I'm going to talk about that crazy Instagram blogger. I forgot what her name was. Her name was Jessie Taylor. She got her Instagram page removed and she absolutely lost her shit. That's going to be in the next segment. But we're going to start things off with none other than Ryan Stone. Ryan Stone is the founder of 4R Consulting. @_Ryan_Stone is where he can be found on Twitter. You can also search his name to find him on Facebook. Search the same thing on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel, where he does the Red Man Group pregame show with Carl called Red Mornings, which I'll actually be on this weekend. RyanStone.com is where you can find his exclusive content and book one-on-one consultations. If you want to support him even further, make sure you check out his Patreon page @_Ryan_Stone. Ryan, listen, man, thanks for making time for us today, man. I know you're on a busy schedule, and it's good to have you in to squeeze you in here for a good segment.
Oh, Donnie, you know I always got time for you, brother.
Yeah, listen, Ryan and I have a man crush on one another. And by the way, you're the only guy who can call me Donnie. And you know what's interesting? A lot of guys ask me, Ryan, why does Ryan call you Donnie? I said, look, it's a Canadian thing. They add E at the end of everything. And listen, I've watched hockey since I was a kid. So Chris Chelios of the Chicago Blackhawks, they call him Chelly. Dominic Hasek, they call him Hashi. Mark Messier, they call him Messi. This is just how it works. So when you call
I didn't realize that was a Canadian thing. That's hilarious.
Absolutely, positively a Canadian thing. Whatever your name is, add the word E to the end. Sometimes I call you Rhiney. No, actually, I do not. Either way, it's good to have you on, man. And I'm looking forward to doing Red Mornings with, I think the whole crew is going to be on this time, right? Me, you, Carl, I think Steve is going to be on, and Rolo.
No, Carl's got a personal engagement. He's going to be gone for that week. The whole point of this stuff, I try to keep it simple and like just one-on-one. I don't like the big groups. That's great for Red Man Group.
Sure.
And it gets you that nice, like, multiple perspectives, but I like this one as more of a conversation. Just 2 guys actually swapping notes. Literally
so bare
bones red pill. Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right, very good. Well, that's good to hear. Well, never mind. I'm going to be on with Ryan. What, 1, 2? I'll actually be doing 3 shows with you this week. 3 shows in 4 days, man. That's a lot. That's a lot of Ryan Stone and Donovan Sharpe, man.
Careful, you're going to get me pregnant.
Dude, you better piss on it. Listen, you better go ahead and piss on a stick, man. I'm not shooting blank over here for sure. Well, let's get to it here, Ryan. A lot of guys ask me, and I'm sure a lot of guys ask you, especially in your consultation clients, how do I handle XYZ situation when my wife or my girlfriend does this? How can I get my wife to start fucking me again? Then they go to YouTube, they find a bunch of videos of men telling them, you know, tell the bitch to suck your dick or she's fucking gone, or just pack your shit and leave. Now, some of this is good advice. Some of this can be good advice. But the issue here, one of the main problems, is that a lot of men who give this advice are not emotionally attached to the women that they are giving advice about. It's very easy to tell men, just fucking leave, or, you know, just curse the bitch out. But a lot of these guys giving out this advice are not in relationships of consequence. So I'd like you to, let's talk about how to handle bad behavior from your wife or girlfriend from a real world perspective, someone you are emotionally invested in. Not to say that we'll ever endorse being thirsty or supplicating or being meathead red pill guy, because that's not the answer. But from a real every man's perspective in terms of dealing with your wife or girlfriend's idiosyncrasies, her red flags, et cetera, what do you advise men to do when there are emotions involved?
Well, that's the funny thing. We only really have 3 tools. You've got your affection, you got your attention, and you got your commitment.
Right.
You can't really use violence. That's out. Good for that. I think nobody would want to have violence to sort out their problems.
Right.
You can't really have, like, court systems aren't in your favor. You can't use your friend circles. Almost everybody will take the girl's side anyway. So those really are the only 3 things you got. And it was something I talked with Rule Zero Dad. I think you might be coming familiar with him. He's one of the old married red pill guard with me there.
Yeah.
Is that you don't have a stick. So you don't have a stick. You have to basically remove the carrot. And that's your attention. That's your comfort. That's your commitment. And those tools only have any teeth to them if you're hot as fuck. If you have SMV and the SMP. There's your Jesse Jackson moment for the day. Work on your SMV
the
for the SMP.
For the SMP. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. That was Johnny Cochran, but you get the idea.
Yeah, and then it's like any escalation of force. You just use it commensurate with what come at you. Like, so if she breaks, let's say she comes onto your podcast and starts fiddling around with the stuff on the bookshelf when you're on camera.
Oh my God.
That's just a small one. You pull a bit of affection, you give a stern word, and you're done with it. Let's say it's something more important, like, I don't know, she slept with your brother-in-law, the pool boy. At that point, you pull your commitment, 100%.
There you go.
But there's always like somewhere in the middle there,
right?
Stuff you can deal with.
And this is
so that's the best I can answer and give on that.
Well, listen, you mentioned something very important here. Females, especially when they're in relationships of consequence with men of value, Ryan, they're going to act up. They're females. They're not perfect. They're not going to get it right every single time. Yeah. So they're not going to if they want to stay in the relationship, they know that, hey, listen, if you go off and, fuck my brother-in-law or fuck the pool boy, then guess what? She knows you're going to pull the commitment. But by the same token, females sort of subconsciously and consciously act up and misbehave, number one, to shit test you to see if you still have the balls to check them, but number two, because they're females. What about the gray area stuff? Like, say, for example, you catch your woman texting her ex. So let's just say that Mrs. Ryan Stone is texting her ex and Ryan happens to catch her. How do you handle things like that?
Well, you went straight to 99% on that one.
There we go.
I don't have many... For me personally, I don't have many hard boundaries. That's one of them.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I wish I could give it like a more nuanced answer, but like that's kind of a no. So you can always tell, and you can feel it in your gut when somebody is maybe doing something they shouldn't be, and they know they shouldn't be, texting an ex-boyfriend. You can usually tell because you won't see it because she's sitting there with the phone right in front of you, so you can see. Right. She'll be hiding it, and then if you look over, she'll quickly switch to something else. So right there. It's not so much the action, it's how she reacts to the action.
Ooh, wow.
So if she's texting her boyfriend, guaranteed it's going to be while you're in the shower, her phone will have a lock on it. Like, there's always signs to it.
Yes.
And at that point, you know exactly what she's doing. And whether she's cheated yet, whether she tried and got shot down, or whether she already has is irrelevant. At that point, her mindset is gone. It's a great quote I've heard about hypergamy, is that hypergamy is monogamy.
Ooh.
So she can only really give herself to one guy at a time. And guys love variety, but girls are simple. They'll settle for the best. And if you're not the best, then somebody else is. And at that point, it's not really monogamy. It's just a temporary arrangement.
And I will say this. A lot of guys say, well, and a lot of guys would say, well, Ryan, if a woman can only give herself to one man, why is it that girls are always fucking more than one guy? To that, I would say, girls never want really to be fucking more than one guy. Listen, they can.
Yeah, not really.
Listen, not really. They can and they do, but there's always one guy that they like more than the others. That's the guy who gets her immediate availability.
And chances are he hasn't committed yet, so that's why she's still keeping her options open and her legs open too.
Options and legs, two things that women seldom close these days. But girls never want to be fucking 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. They want to be fucking one guy. And the guy that she fucks the most, the guy that she gives the best sex to, the guy that she's readily available to, that's the guy she really wants to be a part of. But again, because of feminist culture, it tells women, hey, you got to keep your options open, etc., etc. This is why she does this. So a lot of men say, well, why are women sluts? Well, women are sluts because they can be, but they don't really want to be hoes. They really want to belong to one guy. So when you pull your 3 weapons, that's really what keeps her in line, at least in the short to midterm.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's a double-edged sword. I don't know how to use a good metaphor for that, but at the same time, you find out if she doesn't respect those boundaries and crosses them anyway, well, then you kind of know where you stand. And that's why a lot of guys are afraid to enforce them.
Ooh. Because
in their heart of hearts, they know that he's not their first choice. He's not her preferred choice, and he may not even be her current best choice, right, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So when they bring this stuff out in the open, it kind of lays bare that big ego damage because it's essentially a rejection.
Right.
And if you're talking about a wife of 15 years, there's not many rejections that get harder on a guy's ego than that. I was even telling the story yesterday when I was talking with a lawyer friend of mine on Twitter there. He's from Chicago. How we were talking about how during a divorce, the guy essentially has to be cold and deal with things practically. But usually the girl initiates it. The guy's blindsided and he's emotionally in the worst possible state to make these objective decisions.
Yes.
And as much as you can say you can just be alpha bro or just shut it off. Like I watched my stepdad, probably the toughest guy I ever saw in my life, break down into tears when my mom left him.
Ooh, wow.
So I already know that unless you kind of have that bit of yourself turned off, it's almost impossible to completely detach your emotions from these long-term things. And that's the difficult part. And that's why I like keeping it into a system.
Yes.
It's same as like military. You know how they had like guys were afraid to shoot at the enemy. They didn't want to kill a human being. Back in World War I, they developed a skill called killology. If you can believe it, there's a science on killing people.
Jeez.
And they found the closer they got it to your limbic brain, make things routine, make the targets you shoot at silhouettes, all these different things together, make sure it bypasses your decision-making process and goes straight to instinct. Same as like riding a bike. You don't think left pedal. You don't think right pedal. You just pedal the bike.
Do it. Right. Right.
So if you can make these kind of boundary enforcement things like you're talking about, you make them instinctual, it's much easier to enforce them when the times that it matters. And that's usually when you're most emotionally invested.
It's blind instinct. And a lot of guys come to the red pill and they think that this is the magic bullet. They think it's the magic pill. They think it's the cheat code. But they listen, it's funny, you laugh, but a lot of people do. They quickly find out that it's not. But it takes, listen, you have to have this knowledge for a good long time in order for it to become second nature. Listen, when I first found the red pill, I'm learning all of these new concepts. I had to not really fake until you make it. It took a while for me to get to a point to where if somebody misbehaved, I'm right on it. It is like I'm congruent. It is who I am. You also made another good point. It's anybody can be hardcore red pill guy when he's single, when he's spinning plates, right? Not to take anything away from guys who are players. If anything, guys who are perpetual players, player for life, I'm never gonna get married, never gonna have a girlfriend. They understand that becoming emotionally attached to a female makes them inherently weaker. It makes them inherently emotionally weaker. You now have more skin in the game. You now care a little bit more, which makes you more susceptible to, misbehavior in the wiles of a woman. But if you're as a red pill aware male, a high value male who actually who is in a relationship of consequence, but you can maintain your red pill awareness, you can maintain those boundaries, you can keep your woman in line, that's where the rubber meets the road. Again, not to take anything away from the single guys, but if you really want to know about hardcore red pillers and how to deal with your wife or girlfriend, deal with guys.
Make them emotionally invested first, then see how he does. I'm telling you,
yourself, myself, Rollo Tomasi, Steve the Dean Williams, this is where it happens. This is where the rubber meets the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing, the big nuance there. It's very easy to be tough, but add some emotional investment and see how tough they are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You said you don't have many hard boundaries when it comes to, Mrs. Stone. One of them, obviously, texting your ex. If you can think of any, what are some, obviously cheating, texting your ex, what are some of the other hard boundaries? And if you would, what are some things that you let slide how can I put this? What are some things that guys don't really need to take too seriously? Because a guy like me, I'm on every. Listen, I'm on every.
That second answer for me is way better. I'm like the chill version of you. I let shit slide until I don't feel like putting up with it anymore.
Oh my god!
She can come home in a bitchy mood. She can be hangry. She can be tired and cranky. She can call me all kinds of names. I really don't care.
Oof.
You can talk all you want because I know later on that night, I'll make up for it in the bedroom there being a little bit harder than usual. That's fine.
Sure.
But it gets to a certain point. Like I have a rule. It's a nice little married red pill rule we have where you don't want to be the emotional tampon, but at the same time, you don't want to be completely closed off. So you give a 15-minute window. You got 15 minutes after work to bitch about your day to me. After that, I'm cutting it off. So it's kind of, if that's the nuance where you're putting up with things, but at the same time, you're not letting them get out of hand. And then usually if she does, she carries over and I'm not obviously timing it with a stopwatch.
No, of course not.
I got to mention this because there's so many people who take things literal.
Make it quick.
Yeah, but at the same time, it starts dragging on to the point where I can tell. And then a lot of the times that her being mad at X coworker or Y coworker turns into how I'm an asshole. That's kind of the point where I'm like, all right, that's enough. And you escalate that slowly. So right now it's still affection. I'll listen to you do whatever you want. You pull that affection away. If she continues to harp on it, then remove the affection to the point where you're like, all right, cut that shit out.
Right.
And if she continues to cut it out, I just go to the gym. But I mean, after the first couple times, it usually doesn't get there because you can usually tell when she's getting close to that boundary because she's tried to push it so many times.
Right.
You've essentially, and I don't want to give this negative connotation, you've trained her to understand when you're saying what you mean or when she can push your buttons.
Listen,
and you get the same thing. I watch that when you've had enough of your woman there and you kind of do your thing. And it sounds harsh from an outside perspective, but I can tell there's probably a lot of times where you sound like a dick, but you don't really mean it. Like you can still push a little harder because I can see the difference to when you've had enough and when you've actually had enough.
Right. And again, listen, I'm a no-nonsense guy. I mean, guys know I'm hot-headed and this and that and the other, and I'm hardcore this and that and the other, but I'm also human, right? I'm probably, like my sensors...
You big softy, you.
Oh, good God. Don't get me started. Like there's some things that I let Devin, not let her get away with, but sometimes, Ryan, I'm just fucking tired. I just don't feel like dealing with it. And if she's a little extra bitch or if she does something a little bit out of pocket, I'm like, all right. But when I've had enough, I've had enough. And as far as like listening to her bitch and complain about her job, no, you don't want to be an emotional tampon, but guess what? Devin is my woman. She's very good to me, and she has earned the privilege of my ear. And listen, fortunately for me, she actually has a very interesting job. I actually like to hear about how her day was, and she'll get into the nitty-gritty about what she does, how she does it, this client and that client. That kind of stuff interests me. Now every once in a while she tries to do this late at night, like 10 minutes before bed. I'm like, Dev, like, dude, I'm emotionally, listen, I'm mentally frazzled. We should have had this conversation 40 minutes ago. I'll let her go on for about 5 or 10 minutes, but then I'm like, okay, Dev, listen, you're gonna have to tell me tomorrow because my brain is about to turn completely off.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, you've given her your commitment and she's given you, her best years. That's kind of the arrangement there. And it's transactional, but at the same time, it's kind of not transactional. And so you got to give occasionally because that's just what you do. She's been a great girl 90% of the time. If she wants to mouth off for 10 minutes, just, you can have that one. You pick your battles.
That's one thing that I don't allow her to do, right? Like this is, and this actually leads me into the last question I wanted to ask you. The thing I have a very low tolerance for everything. Devin has never listen. She's never told me to shut up. She's never said anything. She's never smarted off to me. I remember the one time she actually got way out of pocket. I remember we were driving somewhere. And like the lights wouldn't turn on, and it's like automatic lights. You can turn them, you can leave your lights on, and it automatically goes off. So we're going somewhere, and it's nighttime, and I'm like, dude, like what the hell? Like why aren't the lights coming on? She's like, well, you have to switch it to auto. You have to switch it to auto. I said, well, which one is auto? She says the one that says auto. Ryan, oh, dude, I lost. I said, oh, you're a regular fucking comedian now, right? The one that, dude, listen, I aired her out.
Let's do it.
Oh my God, dude, I aired her out for a solid minute and a half. Now, on the outside, a lot of guys, myself included, might think, okay, Donovan, that's a little extreme. What, in your opinion, are some things that men take too seriously? Things that men overreact to that they probably should not.
Their respect. Quickly, before I get onto that one, though, I get that kind of stuff, too.
Oh, God.
Case in point, yesterday even, I think I was called a homosexual slur for about 5 minutes straight.
Oh, fuck that.
Here's the thing, though.
No. Oh, no.
It's not, I don't take it personally. I know she's just venting after a hard day or whatever. So I just spanked her. Spanked her good. She cried a little bit. And then she looked at me, and then she punched me in the chest, and then we carried on. The rest of the day was fine.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, you handle it.
Sometimes I know it's in her head, and she's just got to get it out. But at the same time, she's misbehaving. So
yeah. And listen, in my opinion, dude, that would never happen at the Sharpe family compound. If it were, I don't think I would have to cancel the show the next day. I would have to.
What, you've never spanked Devin, or?
I have. Yes, actually.
Oh,
I have plenty of times, and that would be. Listen, I would have to be like a parent, right? Like as a parent, and listen, I don't have any kids, but my mom used to tell me, listen, I made the egregious mistake of spanking you when I was angry, because if a parent spanks a kid when they're angry, they can really hurt the kid. That would be one of those
spank them when they're angry, not when you're angry.
That's right. So I would be like, Dev, go to the room. I'm going to spank you, but if I spank you right now, I'm going to take one of your ass cheeks off. That's just how that goes. So what are some things? Listen, what are some things that men...
Well, yeah, respect. I would find that respect, and what not actual respect, but what people call respect.
Okay.
That drives me nuts, where essentially, if you're not kissing the guy's ass and telling him how great he is 24/7, he has a big hissy fit over it. I find that very childish.
Okay.
Now, we're not talking about reputation in front of others. If you're at a dinner party with 4 or 5 friends and she berates you in front of all of them, obviously that's a little bit different.
Oh, my God.
It's just like children. You kind of want to put up a unified front, even if your marriage is in a crisis.
Sure.
If she can't keep it together long enough so you guys don't look like fucking bobbleheads, then yeah, that's something you need to deal with.
Bobblehead.
Thanks, guys, for coming over. We need to have a talk. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Oh, my God. Dude, some of the stuff that you talk about, like I can feel the hairs raising on the back of my, just the very thought of that stuff. That would never happen. But obviously that is an extreme case. Like, you don't allow your woman to be.
Well, not that extreme. Most of these stories I get, I'm not making them up. They come from field reports of guys that I talk to or I've read from.
She disrespected
so
me.
That's why they're resonating so well, because most of the time they've happened to at least 100 guys out there. But to double up on your point then, it's weird because if you have this, I don't put up with this, she knows if she wants to piss you off, she knows exactly what your buttons are. Right. So you kind of have to play these a bit smarter. You can't always fly off the handle on the same trigger, even if it does piss you off.
Yeah. Listen,
and it's not even malicious. Girls are horrible at flirting. And when they have a strong emotional state, if it's a negative one, oftentimes they're going to try and lash out at you because they don't know that they're flirting. They're horrible at it. All they feel is strong emotions, so it must be your fault. The same way that strong, happy emotions makes her want to kiss you and call you Pookie Bear or whatever she calls you. What do you get called? What's your nickname? Papa Bear?
No, she doesn't. I don't think I have any nicknames. You know what my nickname is? My nickname is King, a creator, ruler, God, things of that.
There we go.
Sir.
So think of that as like the positive scale. The king, we was Kang sting.
Right.
Go on the other side of things. And that's where you get that angry shit testing where it's like, you've always been an asshole, blah, blah, blah. You know how, like, it's ever since the pickup days, there's no, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's apathy.
That's right. Indifference, yes.
Yeah, so follow that through to a relationship level. When she's completely emotional in an angry way, it's that same strong emotion. And a good relationship talent is to be able to turn that into flirting. And that's, for example, where my spanking comes in, or where you put her in her place. Because then she's still got all those strong feelings. You've just shown leadership and alpha behaviors, I guess. Essentially not putting up with the stuff, being aloof. That turns that anger quickly into sexual attraction. So it's a wonderful thing. And I hate when a lot of guys are so worried about their inner reputation that they're giving away this wonderful gift for them.
Right.
In order to get, anal that night or whatever they want.
Listen, this is and listen, I can admit, and listen, everybody thinks, oh, guys, Donovan Sharpe does not know it all. I literally just learned something from Ryan. That makes all the sense in the world. I've never thought of it that way, but that makes sense. One thing I did know premature to this particular conversation is that is a glaring weakness of mine. I cannot be an aloof individual. I have lately never been one. I don't let anything slide, Ryan. I can't do it. Devin knows it. She knows every single button to push to make me just go nuclear. She doesn't push those buttons, dude. At least not that I know of.
Yeah, well, that's the other way to go about it. You've essentially established that whatever she thinks she's going to get pushing those buttons is not worth it.
Oh, no. It is. Listen,
that's one way to worth it. I mean, yeah, there's no wrong techniques here. It's all just different techniques, and whatever works for somebody works for somebody.
Good stuff. Ryan, listen, man, thanks for making time for us today, man. This was a hell of a segment. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I learned something, man. Like, this is why I have guys like you on, because listen, it's great content. But then I always learn from you guys. I probably learned just as much on the Redman group as any of our viewers. So I definitely.
Oh, dude, that's why I love all you guys. Everybody comes from such a different place. I'm always learning too. That's the red pill. We're swapping notes. That's the whole point of the thing.
@_Ryan_Stone is his Twitter handle. Look for him on Facebook and Twitter. Just type in Ryan Stone. RyanStone.com is where you can find all of his content. You can book one-on-one consultations. He is a lot more expensive than I am. So that's sort of my sales pitch. I don't know. If I just admitted that I learned from you, I guess that justifies the price increase. Ryan.
Well, you know what? Yeah, no worries. I will add to this though. The reason I'm more expensive is because I'm putting a lot of back end work. It's closer to a psychologist. I actually provide your own personal map, which is pretty much your own personal autobiography in advance. Oh. So I'm basically building a book for a guy when he signs on to this thing. So that's where the added price comes, because you're actually getting a lot more investment. And I'm doing research in just about everybody's case here, so I can pull up examples of what's worked in the past and basically A/B test the entire guy's future. So
holy shit,
it's pretty thorough.
listen, guys pay me $225 an hour to say just kick the bitch out. That's pretty much what they pay me for. Ryan, again, thank you very much for making time for us, man. I will see you Saturday morning at 9:00 on Red Mornings.
That's the one.
All right, I will see you then, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Ryan Stone, everybody. When we come back, I am going to talk about Jessie Taylor, the Instagram thought who lost her channel and pled to the world and all that other stuff. Yeah, Ryan, you might want to tune in for that.
I think I will.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
It's a second. Area code 910. You are on the air. That is North Carolina.
Here we go.
Welcome. 910, you're on the line. I have a bad feeling about this.
I'll relax, Donovan.
I knew it. I knew Kitten was going to call in. I knew it as soon as I saw 910. Here we go.
That's Kitten?
That's Kitten.
Hey.
Hello. What up?
I couldn't really hear exactly what you... Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really hear what you were just talking about, but I wanted to touch on what we were talking about a minute ago, how women self-help communities or help each other out the way men do. And I mean, I've thought about this a lot, and I think part of it is because if you look at most female self-help, it's all empowerment and confidence building. So women attribute all of their personal pain to either some sort of outside force, like being oppressed by men or being oppressed by the patriarchy, or being harmed and being a victim of some outside power, or to just not feeling good about themselves, because our feelings and our emotions are our reality. So if we fix our feelings...
Kitten, sweetheart, get to the point. Get to the point. We got other callers here. Come on.
Okay. So we also see men as the cause and solution of all of our problems. So to actually realize that our behavior and our actions are creating the physical pain, like the physical and emotional pain in our lives, creates a huge amount of cognitive dissonance. Also because everything that we're told by feminism and by society, by the blue pill society, is that we are flawless and we can do no wrong, and that that we're fine, and that if we follow the guidance of feminism, we will not have pain. So it takes a lot of pain in a woman's life to actually realize that it's the message of feminism that might be leading them astray, and personal consequences.
But it's destroying their life.
They love kindly letting you fail. I'll give you that. And it's all about coping.
What's that?
A lot of it's about coping, so I'll go with you on that one. They don't want to actually fix things. They just want to feel better. It's a coping strategy, which sounds a lot like the beta male Star Wars thing, but I'll pass it over to Carl. I know he's itching for this one.
Carl?
Well, if you really want the exemplification of everything Kitten just talked about, go on Instagram or ideally on Tumblr and look up the hashtag body positivity or health at every size.
Right. There you go.
Because that's the entire hypoagency thing. It's essentially a gathering of mostly women and a couple of, well, I would say men, but it's not easy to do quotation marks without a camera, sitting around complaining that it's not their fault that they're overweight. And in this case, I'm using the way overweight in the way that the U.S. has a slight deficit. Because
it's not my fault I'm a slut. All those guys wanted to fuck me first, right? Like that's
it's diet culture, it's PCOS, it's hypothyroidism, everything except the fact that, hey, maybe I shouldn't be drinking a 7,000 calorie mocha latte for breakfast.
All right, I'm here now. It's thick with 4 C's.
Yeah, well, what I was gonna say is that in some ways, I guess I kind of understand what she's saying, because I think that we always talk about the blue pill and blue pill conditioning for guys. Okay. There is a form of conditioning for women. I don't know if we want to call that blue pill conditioning for women or whatever, but that conditioning is this fempowerment narrative that we teach our little girls from the time they're fucking 4 years old to get into, Disney Frozen, or, they get into this little girl, super powered princess, what do they call the characters? A Mary Jane, right? What do they say about Rey from Star Wars? Like she's a Mary Sue character, And she just magically, because she has this magical vagina that she can suddenly use a lightsaber and she can do all this. That's one example of a lot of stuff. But that is being taught to girls, that they can do anything. I mean, even if you look at the Miss America pageant, it's no longer a pageant anymore. It's a competition. Well, it's a competition of what? What woman can be the most confident and can be the most, can share the fempowerment message the best. And really what it comes down to is these guys, or these women who have been sort of conditioned and taught by feminism first of all, but like to prioritize the feminine imperative above all else, and to expect that men will do the same, and to expect that men will be the supportive guys that they, who also agree with them, and to expect that this is the way, this is like this utopian society that we can, men are they're going to have your backs and they're there for your support rather than the other way around. And so when I talk about how, genetically, evolutionary wise, how women are different from men, and that put us together and we make pretty good complements of each other, both psychologically and physiologically. We do this. But what feminism is teaching women right now is that they don't need men. Literally, they don't need that. All they need is themselves, and to think positive thoughts, and they're their own source of confidence, and they are this one autonomous thing that is self-fulfilling and self-satisfying.
How's it working out for you?
And it doesn't matter. You don't need a man in your life. If you want one, great, that's great, because men are superfluous. They teach this idea that women are these autonomous creatures, and that men are just these support, either they're there to support you provisionally, or they're there to fuck you. Okay, that's what men get to do.
To clarify for viewers who are not as familiar with your work, this is a collection of lies similar to the blue pill that fucks up women's lives. Yeah. It's propaganda, basically.
Feminism it's one big lie, man. Like, I think that's pretty clear.
And then you're fighting against also women's innate nature, which is solipsistic. Okay, yep. If you go and you teach women that it's all about them, and they're already solipsistic to begin with, it literally is all about them, and that's it, And so again, and then you take that into a larger social narrative, and it becomes the sisterhood of Morales. We are a standalone unique entity.
Yeah, we're going to drop cutting off. No, you got to go. We got to go to the next call. Area code 352. You are on live with the Red Man Group. What you got?
Guys, be sure to sign up for my, quasi-weekly, monthly newsletter. In the event that I get deplatformed here or anywhere else, this ensures that you stay in the know at all times in case somebody figures out how to delete everything off of the internet. Let me give a quick shout out to my super chatters here. Shout out to Herb Thompson with the $10 super chat. Herb Thompson with the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. If you guys want to contribute, there are a couple of ways to contribute. A few ways, actually. You can either become a patron at the $5 level. You can donate via super chat like Herb Thompson, or you can do so through my Streamlabs link, www.streamlabs.com/DonovanSharpe1. That's www.streamlabs.com/DonovanSharpe and the number 1. YouTube wisely takes 30% off the top. I've been on record saying I would take 60 to 70% and tell them that they should be so lucky to be able to use this platform for free and make money. I would take more. But if you want 100% of your donations to come to the towers, the Streamlabs link is the best way to do it. Let me do some quick shout-outs again. King SF is the first one in here. Armando Moreno, the TSR bailiff. Xanatos Clutch making an appearance. Good to see you in here today. NYKia 31 says, man, go in on this thought. If there ever was a poster child for the 21st century 20-something female, this is it. And now that seamlessly segues into my next topic. So there is some sort of viral YouTube video, and I'm gonna play it for you here in just a second, and I'm going to comment throughout. An Instagram thought by the name of Jessie Taylor. I had never heard of her before today. She's just your typical Instagram hoe. She's got big tits and, she has a decent looking face. But she lost her Instagram channel and she just lost her shit and she pleaded out to the internet. I'm going to play that for any second. A couple of things to note here before I play this clip. Number one, Jessie Taylor used to be a stripper. She was a stripper for a little over 3 years. Well, she's only 21, which meant that she was a stripper illegally, right? She probably started stripping at 17 years old, maybe even sooner than that. What this means, if you started stripping as a teenager, you are literally good for nothing. I've said it before many times. Hot girls are useless because they've never really had to be useful. Anytime you make money, anytime a female in the 21st century makes money based solely on the way she looks, they're going to get money. They're going to get resources. They're going to get offers from men, etc. They become useless because they never have to be useful. I compare that to Michael Vick. Michael Vick, most electrifying college football player I have ever seen. He didn't learn to start reading defenses until he came here to Philly. He is 2 years removed. He was what, 2 years removed from prison. He's a little bit slower, still athletic, but now he's got to learn to read defenses. Why? Because he's a little slower. In college and when he was with the Falcons, never had to learn to read defenses because he could just run around. It's the same with hot girls. Hot girls have never been useful. Hot girls are useless because they've never really had to be useful. They're useless because they've never had to be useful. And this is listen, this is indicative of this particular video. Listen, apparently she made racist comments, which I don't really give a shit about, but the real reason why these people ended up reporting her is because she's a typical bitch. Like, hey, hi haters, bye haters, you guys can't touch me. They reported her enough. And when people on the internet don't like you, they go after your livelihood, especially if it is on the internet. So I'm going to play this clip for you. I'm going to stop it, periodically to give my comments on it. So without further ado, here is Jessie Taylor pleading to the public. Here we go.
And my Instagram account got deleted. And I'm trying to get it back. I'm calling everybody.
Oh my God. Already. She's already crying, right? A female's number one weapon is tears. That's what they do. Anytime a woman doesn't get her way, she uses tears, and 9 times out of 10 it works.
I can't. And I don't know why it's not working out.
She clearly can't handle this. And apparently she called the cops because I think she said something to do like this felt like murder. Just a bunch of bullshit, just typical female rhetoric.
I'm in LA because of this. I'm in LA because I want to be on Instagram.
Okay, so like look at her hands. She has the cat claw fingernails. The cat claw fingernails are 2 dead giveaways. The first dead giveaway is that you are a bitch, and the second dead giveaway is that you're a slut. If you have cat claw fingernails instead of the typical, feminine fingernails, you are a slutty bitch. No, cat claw fingernails, ladies, do not make you a boss bitch. It means you're just a bitch.
And I'm randomly just recording this to put this in the video. I'm not.
Look at the pearl clutching, all the body language. Cry me a fucking river, bitch.
Nothing without my following.
There it is. I'm nothing without my following. That's the problem. Girls these days literally base their entire worth off of false online validation. She probably doesn't have any real, tangible, in-the-flesh friends. She said it herself. I'm nothing without my following. She really believes that she's nothing. Look at her. She really, really believes that she is nothing without her following, and it's probably true.
I'm nothing without my following. And when people try to hate on me and report me, I'm literally trying to be a better person.
Bullshit. When people report you, when people report Instagram hoes, Instagram sluts, she doesn't try to be a better fucking person. Get the fuck out of here. She's the kind of bitch. Really, you can already tell. She's the kind of bitch who talks shit about her haters, and she gives them fuel. Gentlemen, guess what? I've made this mistake before. When I went in on Healthy for Hillary, I firmly believe that she's the one who led to my first YouTube channel getting taken down. I go in on people on Facebook all the time, and when you and this is the interesting thing. People report me. It's mainly black men and black women, right? When black men and black women report me on Facebook, it's because I've struck a nerve, number one. The second thing that leads to them reporting me is they go through my Facebook feed to try to find something detrimental to troll me about. But guess what? When they go through it, they don't find anything. They see pictures of me with this bitch, with that bitch. They see my girlfriend. They see Devin. They see her huge tits. They see her awesome ass. They see her long blonde hair. And they figure out, holy shit. Subconsciously, like, dude, there's really nothing I can point out about this guy that can really hurt him. One bitch, which is the last person that reported me, and I'll be out of Facebook jail here in a couple of days. She actually took I had my before and after picture up there. She cut my before picture and she says, "Is this you, sir?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you went through my Facebook feed and couldn't find anything. So you're using my before picture, which clearly I don't look like now." And of course, because I trolled the shit out of her, she ended up going and reporting me, and I got banned on Facebook for 30 days. Well, this is what happened with her. Listen, when trolls and haters get on you, a lot of times, guys, you really do have to refrain from that. But because females never, ever, ever suffer consequences for their actions, and this kind of stuff happens, you get crocodile tears like this bitch.
I want to say to everybody that's been reporting me, think twice because you're ruining my life. Because I make all of my money online, all of it, and I don't want to lose that. And I know,
bitch, you already lost it. Like, it's already gone.
People like to see me be down and be like them and be like the 90%ers, the people that work 9 to 5. That is not me.
Oh, no. That is you, baby girl. Bitch, you're not special. Listen, you moved to LA. Oh, hold on. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Hang on.
I am in LA.
There it is. You moved to LA, Jesse, to be like the people in LA. Don't try to act like, and people always move to LA. I used to get a lot of this in Vegas. Well, I didn't come out to Vegas for the nightlife. Then what the fuck did you come to Vegas for? No, you're not special. You moved out to LA because you want to be a silicone fuck doll just like every other blonde-haired bimbo out there and try to fuck your way into some sort of movie role. And you end up as strippers or prostitutes at some point down the line. Then you move to Vegas because it's kind of sort of legal and there's no state income tax. Okay? Listen, she's already had plastic surgery. Look at her lips. Look at her lips.
To not be like that. I worked so hard to get to where I'm at. And for that to get...
Bitch, you didn't work hard. You are a female with big tits and a decent face. There is nothing hard about being an Instagram whore. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Taken from me is the worst feeling in the world. It literally sucks having people want to come after you for no reason.
Oh, no reason? Nah, bitch. They come after you because you're a bitch. And people hate people. Listen, people hate on what they can't have. Straight up. What? Listen. Welcome to the real fucking world.
It hurts. And I don't think people understand that, like, this is my life. I am nothing. I was a prostitute.
I was a prostitute. This goes to verify the fact. Verify. Give credence to. Guys, most strippers are fucking tricking on the side. Dude, listen, she dances on the pole in the front. She takes poles in the back, man. Dude, 9 out of... Well, I don't know what the percentages are, but dude, most strippers, most showgirls, they double as prostitutes. Dude, some bitches go and they dance on the pole. They make a couple of $100, then they go back, they get fucked by somebody, make another couple of $100, come back out and dance with a set. Listen, this is what happens. Dude, listen, belly full of semen. Vagina, uterus full of semen. They're out there dancing on the pole, and you still got dudes out there throwing money at her. Unbelievable.
For God's sakes. I was a prostitute. I stripped every single day. I don't even do that anymore because I make all of my money online. I don't want to go back to that life.
Oh, but you will, sweetheart. You will go back to that life, baby girl. You see, once a female, gentleman, works in the sex trade, and I mean a sex trade on any level. Stripper, whether you're a call girl, prostitute, cam girl, escort, porn star, cam girl. They always end up back in the business one way or the other, guys. Listen, girls don't want to have to work in the sex trade if they don't have to, right? Girls, dude, I heard all these girls say, oh, I just love being a stripper, bitch. No, you don't. I love doing porn. No, you don't. Rollo Tomasi was on my show yesterday, and he put it best. females make their necessities a virtue. I'm here to tell you guys, no female actually likes getting ass to mouth by 3 niggas on camera. They don't like that shit. They do it because they have to. They know they have to do it, so they make necessity a virtue. I love getting gangbanged by 3 black guys with 12-inch dicks. It makes me feel empowered. Get the fuck out of here.
From the bottom of my heart, it sucks. And the people that are laughing at this, wanting me to get my account deleted. Imagine if you were in my shoes. I was abandoned from my family.
Oh, cry me a fucking river, bitch. Abandoned by your family? I wonder why. You know what's interesting, man? A lot of these girls who end up working in the sex trade, like especially in Vegas, listen, very few people are born and raised in Vegas. I met strippers from all around. Florida, Vermont, New York, Texas. And one thing that a lot of them had in common is that they don't really talk about their past life. Well, what did you do before this? It's a long story. Or I don't fuck with my family anymore. Oh, really? See, what a lot of these girls don't tell you is that they have burned their bridges many times over. Maybe she fucked her stepdad, right? Maybe she ended up fucking all the boyfriends of her mother. Maybe she fucked all the boyfriends of her friends. Like, dude, girls don't end up on the pole in Vegas for just no reason. They don't end up on the pole in Vegas just because they were just a good person and they caught a few bad breaks. Oh, no. Women never tell you the whole story. My whole family abandoned me. Sweetheart, your whole family abandoned you. It's probably your fault.
I've been backstabbed from everybody I know. Except for maybe 2 people. 3 people in my life.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there it is. She says, except for maybe 2 people. 3 people in her life. Now, the 2 people that haven't backstabbed her, I can promise you are men. Okay? I can promise you are men. Then she thought, wait a minute, there's this one girl who hasn't backstabbed me yet. Right? The 2 people that haven't backstabbed her are those thirsty beta males that she actually knows personally that gasses her ass up. The one person that hasn't, the third person that hasn't backstabbed her yet, probably a female. But guess what? I can guarantee you that bitch is sharpening her knife right now. You want to know why we all know Cynthia G got pregnant? Is because her best friend stabbed her in the back. That's what happens, guys. Hashtag bitches be bitches. Let's continue.
3 people in my life that has not backstabbed me yet. Okay? Like, try to be in my shoes for once, because I guarantee you none of you would ass in my shoes. And I just got back from San Fran and drove 7 hours to try to get a verification just for my account to be deleted. Stop reporting me, bro.
Bro? Again, guys. When girls use the word bro, they act masculine. And masculine acting bitches, 11 times out of 10 are all sluts. They're all hoes.
What some of you guys have to realize is I have no skills. I'm 20.
Wait a minute. No skills? Well, sure you do. You can suck and fuck just like the other useless sluts online. Right? With half-decent bodies. You got skills. Listen. We can all sit here and bag on the sex trade all you want. A female's youth and beauty, that is a commodity. It's not an investable commodity. But guess what? Strippers, prostitutes, porn stars, you do that for a living. Most women are not willing to work in the sex trade. You are. The fewer people that either can or are willing to do your job, the more money you make. If every girl was a stripper, then guess what? Then strippers wouldn't make any money. But this girl says she has no skills. No, she has no skills that she has no skills she wants to use. She has very good skills. Listen, this girl's going to end up in porn.
$1,000 in debt from school, from college.
Okay, what school? What college? Like, get the hell out of here. Like, you've stripped since you were 17, 18 years old, and now you're 21, you just lost your Instagram account, right? So you were stripping, making a bunch of money. You figured out, oh, I can make money. I don't have to take my clothes off and fuck strangers for money. And now you lost your Instagram account. Make that make sense. This bitch didn't go to school. She is literally making this up. What school did you go to? Listen, dude, strippers forever telling, yep, I strip because I'm going to school. Dude, I have never, ever seen a stripper actually go to school. Really, show me your transcript. What school do you go to? That's always, well, I strip because I go to school. No, you strip because you have no other skills but youth and beauty and the willingness to take your clothes off for and fuck strangers. That's it.
So I can't even go to college if I wanted to. I used to work at McDonald's before I did YouTube, Instagram, before I had a...
Wait a minute. You used to work at McDonald's before you did Instagram and YouTube? So McDonald's or stripper? Which is it? See, again, this is what I'm talking about. Bitches lie, gentlemen. Bitches lie. Anytime a female is trying to convince anybody of something, dude, they always lie. Here is another Donovanism. I need to come up. You know, Rollo Tomasi has the iron rules of Tomasi. This is Donovanism number 1 or whatever. A female's tears are only genuine when she is by herself. If she has an audience of even one person, those are crocodile tears. These are not real tears, gentlemen. They are crocodile tears for all the world to see.
100,000 followers before I had everything in my life. I was a loser. Like, working at McDonald's. Not saying there's anything wrong with people working at McDonald's because I worked there.
Oh, there we go. Listen, she's backpedaling, right? She don't want to catch the heat. She don't want to catch heat from people who work at McDonald's. She doesn't want to catch heat from people who work in fast food. Oh, no. She don't want to do that.
But I don't want to go back to that life. I'm perfect.
Oh, sweetheart.
Hello, we're good?
Yeah, hang on, GLO. Hang on, GLO. I'm going to turn you down here real quick so I can finish this. All right, yeah, mute yourself if you would, GLO, so I can finish this segment here. Sorry about that. I got my next guest on the line. I'm trying to finish this here segment here. Yeah, see, the thing is this, guys. She can work in this other trade. The problem is she just don't want to. She does not want to. And I'm going to let you in on something else here, gentlemen. This is why sex workers can never work a normal job after being in the sex trade. The money is too good, guys. The attention is too addictive. Going from stripping to working in an office, it's impossible. Going from doing porn to working a regular job, impossible. Dudes aren't throwing money at you. You're not getting attention. And now you're making $500 a week before taxes sitting in office, when before you were making $500 a night on the pole. When before you were making $500 a night from fucking dudes in the back. When before you were making $500 per shoot doing porn. Oh, no. She is going back into the sex trade, guys. I guarantee it.
Happy where I'm at, and I have no job qualifications. I could never work a normal job. I'm worthless. I bring nothing to the table. Zero. I bring nothing to the table when it comes to that. I always get in fights with people. I always get kicked out of places.
Always get into fights with people and always get kicked out of places. There it is, guys. Listen, this again, dude, this is verification of so many things on so many levels. Gentlemen, pretty girls are bitches because they can be. Okay? They get away with shit because more men want to fuck them than men that don't. Dude, listen, beautiful females are fucking bitches, guys. They don't have a reason to be nice. They don't have a reason to be decent human beings. They get cat claw fingernails. They use the word bro. They talk shit about people. Then all of a sudden when people actually can bite back, oh, now you want to cry these fucking crocodile tears. Right? This is what got her ass kicked off of Instagram, and she can't handle it. She's telling us, oh, they kicked me off for nothing. Nah, you're a bitch, sweetheart.
Like, I'm not work material. I will never be work material. So stop reporting me on mother Instagram. The last thing I want to do is be a homeless prostitute in the street doing meth. That is a lot.
Yeah, sweetheart, you're not going to be, I don't know, she might be a homeless prostitute doing meth, maybe in about 10, 15 years. But yeah, like, you are going to end up back in the sex trade.
Last thing I want to do is stop trying to ruin my life. All the Ice Poseidon trolls out there.
Oh, she could not help herself in the end. Couldn't help herself in the end, right? Oh, I tried to be a better person and I tried this and try that. She tried to make, she tried to appeal to our softer side, etc., etc. But in the end, she could not help her bitchy nature. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I just thought that verified female nature on so many fucking levels. On so many levels. Coming up on TSR Live, I will be joined by the most upvoted poster on the now quarantined Red Pill subreddit, Gay Lube Oil, GLO. And I'm actually going to have Gay Lube Oil explain what his name is, because I know there's a lot of people in the chat. Gay Lube Oil, what the fuck? You're like a fucking red pill, like a red pill, meathead red pill guy. Jesus Christ. We'll be right back.
But I can't see all the wreckage inside of me. No light buried so far down. Dare to try to take a hold of me. There's no coming back from apathy. No words, silence is deafening. Hand underwater, take it further down. Don't need I'm lost and can't be found. It's taking over, burn me to the ground. No point in swimming when I was meant to drown. All the promises we can't keep, venom laced with apologies. Forgive, but truly won't forget. And there is a wolf as a troll with the words shut down my throat. In the moment when I needed you most, I'm a fool for letting you get so close. Hand underwater, take it further down. Don't even bother. I'm lost and can't be found. It's taking over, burn me to the ground. No point in swimming when I was meant to drown. Till the day I die, 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 till I die. It's killing me inside, killing me inside, killing me inside, killing me inside, killing me inside. Hand underwater, take it further down. Don't even bother. I'm lost and can't be found. It's taking over, burn me to the ground. No point in swimming when I was meant to drown. Hand underwater, take it further down. Don't even bother. I'm lost and can't be found. It's taking over, burn me to the ground. No point in swimming when I was meant to drown.
Welcome back to the 435th edition of TSR Live with Donovan Sharpe. On a Thursday. Looks like I need to refocus my camera here. Give me, Jimmy, just a second here. Come on, there it is. There we are. Much better. Excellent. Yes, that was the Failsafe with their official video, Head Underwater. The Failsafe is actually playing their first gig on Saturday, April 20th at the Nomad in Minneapolis, Minnesota. All tickets are at the door. You can buy tickets at the door. So if you are in the Minneapolis area, I would highly recommend going and seeing these guys. Jesse, Kieran, Kyle, and Chad. Those are my guys. Super talented guys. They are the official TSR band until, of course, they go mainstream. Then they will have to disassociate themselves from me, which I will certainly not take personally. But again, Saturday, April 20th at the Nomad in Minneapolis. Get your tickets at the door. For more, go to thefailsafe.com. That is thefailsafe.com. All one word, just like it is, just like it's spelled. So again, shout out to my guys again, Jesse, Kieran, Kaio, and Shad for hooking me up with the video. Again, I don't want them to have to disassociate themselves from me, but at some point they probably will. That's just kind of how that is. So again, guys, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Just do a quick search for Donovan Sharpe. Devin is working from home today, which is, of course, and we just found out that one of our dogs has a tick on him, so she's freaking out, and I'm on the air, and I'm like, okay, just fucking handle it, because I'm fucking busy right now. You know how that goes. All right, let us bring on my next guest. My next guest is the most upvoted commenter / poster on the now defunct Red Pill subreddit. I, of course, am talking about Gay Lube Oil. You can follow him on Twitter at Gay Lube Oil. And GLO, you have some very interesting concepts that you'd like to talk about. And the main right, and the main reason it's very interesting what we talked about on the air, and I actually mentioned it a little bit at the top of the show. And we call it red pill masturbation, and there is such a thing as the concept of red pill masturbation. And we talk about hypergamy and monkey branching and all of the same things. And listen, it's very beneficial to guys who are new to the red pill. There are guys finding the red pill every day, but there are consumers and purveyors of the red pill who need to sort of take things to the next level and discuss new concepts. And that's what you're on here to talk about today. The first one is called The Fall of the Primitive Symbolic Exchange. And there was a video, and unfortunately, it's a 12-minute video, but there's a video called Capitalism and Schizophrenia. So go ahead and let's go ahead and discuss the fall of the primitive symbolic exchange and what that has to do with that video, Capitalism and Schizophrenia.
Okay, so the underlying thesis is that our whole culture runs off of the logic of capitalism. And before modernity, when we were tribal, we would barter for things. So if you needed something, everything was predicated on use value, which is to say how useful something is.
Right.
But now with the advent of capitalism, we're not focused on use value anymore. Sometimes we're focused on exchange value, which is to say how much money you can get something.
Right.
So if I give you a brick of gold, you're going to take it because you know that you can exchange it for a lot.
Right.
But beyond that, there is symbolic value. And symbolic value is, the best way I can explain symbolic value is, let's say there is a pink Jeep and a blue Jeep.
Okay.
They have the same use value and they probably have the same exchange value. But you know that the dude in the pink Jeep sucks dick. Like
right.
The pink Jeep symbolizes that he sucks dick. So the pink Jeep is a fetish item, which is to say an item used primarily for that symbolic value.
Okay.
So what happens is initially we were focused on how useful something is.
Right.
Then and that's pre-modernity, modernity, the Industrial Revolution. We're focused on how much we can sell it for. And this applies sexually too. And then finally, right now, we're focused on how many Instagram likes can we get.
Right.
So symbolic value.
Right.
So every era, we're focused on a different kind of value. So right now, the best strategy to get laid is if you're the kind of guy who will get her more likes on social media, that's what's going to get you laid. It's not about being a useful guy. So that's what post-modernity is. It's not about how useful you are. It's not about how strong you are or what you look like. You could be fat and retarded like DJ Khaled, but because you're a meme, you will get your dick sucked. because symbolically you're valuable, even though, I mean, he's the Holy Trinity,
of course,
right?
Yes.
He's fat, he's retarded, like he's ugly, like he hits all the check marks, right?
Right.
But symbolically he's valuable. So DJ Khaled really proves this thesis. Well, so the fall of symbolic exchanges, as capitalism speeds up faster and faster and faster, people will identify with symbols and unidentify with symbols faster.
Right.
So you can see with social media, there's new ways of dressing, or let's say with regards to the red pill, people are wearing these Donald Trump hats, or they have all of these commodities, and you have a lot of those commodities on the table in front of you, and so people will identify with those commodities. They'll say, you know what, I'm a Donald Trump kind of guy, I'm wearing this hat. And then 5 years later, they take that hat off and they put on a new hat. In the same way a slut goes through lots of dick, you have a person going through a lot of identifiers or signifiers.
Right.
And then to the point where he flips through so many signifiers where he can't identify as anything anymore, and he becomes this hollow husk of an NPC.
Oh, wow.
And so in the same way a woman can get so much dick that she can't love anymore, a person can hoard so many objects and flip through them so quickly that he loses all meaning. And so the only way to get out of it is we can ground ourselves either we can racially identify,
right,
or we could religiously identify. Some kind of identity that's solid, and once you have that foundation, you're going to be good.
Now, you and I, now off the air, you and I discussed the fact that it's not likely to happen to a guy like me because I'm black, right? I can only racially identify with being a black man. I can't connect and disconnect because I've always been black. I'm always going to be black. Of course, Michael Jackson is, right, the exception to the rule. So how does that, and again, I know you just touched on it, but how is that different from, I guess, say a white person? Are you saying that white people, white women in particular, identify, unidentify, then re-identify, and that kind of makes them sort of a mental slut?
Right, but let's look at white men too.
Okay.
So what they're going to do is they're going to flip through, Donald Trump alpha. They're going to be, like an alpha dad. They're going to flip through these identities, but internally there's nothing. Like if you get black people know that there are certain things that they shouldn't do because it will threaten their racial identity.
Right. Right.
And I know Hollywood has this thing about making black men put on dresses. Like, it just,
God, what in the fuck, dude? Seriously, GLO, what is that? What the hell is that?
They have this thing, but like a black man is like, okay, like as soon as I cross this dress threshold, that's it. Like, I'm a sellout. I don't represent the black community. Like, it's done. Like, that's the threshold. Maybe there's other thresholds. I think Dave Chappelle discusses it.
Well, I can tell you. Listen, I can tell you what a few of those thresholds are.
Okay.
Is having a strong command of the English language. Now, black men like myself, we don't get as much hate, I guess, as we used to because it's not fashionable anymore. But, dude, I've been called a sellout. I've been called a coon. I've been called an Uncle Tom simply because of the way I talk. You add that to the fact that I'm light-skinned and I date white girls and all this other kind of stuff, that seems to be the threshold, at least as far as the black community is concerned.
Right. Well, I mean, you can see how those thresholds change, but I mean, there's definitely a few things that you don't want to cross, and that keeps you in some good boundaries where you have a stable identity. To some degree, Eastern European men, they're fine there. Asians, they're okay. But as soon as we start looking into Western European men, and particularly Americans, they don't have boundaries. And so because they don't have boundaries, that's why whenever you see a tranny kid, it's a white kid.
Yes, Desmond is amazing, right? Have you heard of this kid?
Yeah, I try and like block it out of my mind, but like I try to not know. But the idea is that you can push any bullshit on them and they will absorb it because they're this unidentifiable NPC.
Wow.
And so so this whole process where first they'll flip through a whole bunch of identities,
right?
And then they become this nothing person who just absorbs everything.
A blank slate, so to speak.
That's the blue pill process. That's how you get a conformist. So if we're trying to red pill people, and keep in mind, there's plenty of very masculine men who will get suckered into this nonsense. You need to stop this. I sent you a video. We're falling down the staircase.
Yes, right.
Of identifying and unidentifying. And it's I try and do it on the red pill, but it's very difficult because what'll happen is you'll have a beta male, and what he will want is he'll say, "Hey, I'm a beta male, I'm a loser. Give me a whole bunch of identifiers."
And they buy they buy each and every one of them because they don't really have direction.
Right. And I'll say, no. Let's figure out the world. I don't want to give you any identifiers. Because you're just going to adopt these identifiers and throw them away in 2 seconds.
Right.
So let's get you understanding the world so you don't keep falling down this staircase. And then somebody else will come in and then they'll give them a list of identifiers. And then they're fucked. But
listen, I've actually got a comment in here from a commenter. Convicted booty eater Tony, yes, he stands convicted of eating the booty. I've absolutely not forgotten about that. That is on his TSR criminal record. He says it's always about what you look like. What that says to me, GLO, is that guys like Tony, not that there's anything wrong with what he said, but and we don't want to outthink the room here, but that is a very simplistic way of looking at what you're talking about. He says, well, it's always about what you look like. Explain to him why he is wrong within the context of this discussion.
Just DJ Khaled. Just DJ Khaled proves him wrong.
Steve Buscemi.
You can look like absolute horse shit. And he's wrong because DJ Khaled is a meme.
Right. That's how this goes.
And people want to identify with DJ Khaled. And I don't know if he watched the DJ Khaled sex tape or how long he needs to.
I'm sorry. There's a DJ Khaled sex tape? Like this looks like breaking news. What?
Yeah. Oh my God. That's my prescription. So for your convicted booty eater, my prescription is he watches this DJ Khaled sex tape for at least a couple of hours to understand how it's not about what you look like at all.
Wow, there's the
I don't know how long he has to watch that for it to sink in, but
well, listen, he does eat the booty, right? So it might take a little while. Let's take another turn here and talk. And now this is a very interesting topic that we talked about. And this is something you called hysteria paranoia.
Okay. So you can think of the psyche as a spectrum. And on the far left, that's hysteria. That's an endless questioning. So that's feminine. And on the far right, there is an overdetermination, a strong confidence. That's paranoia. So an example of paranoia is Alex Jones. He's archetypical paranoia, like, they're putting chemicals in the water. They're turning the freaking frogs gay. Like, he's certain.
Right.
It's this absolute certainty. And so there's two issues that the audience can benefit from. The first one is any dealings with women, you're going to be dealing with hysteria right away.
Right. What is the solution? Now again, you made a very an excellent analogy with regards to the strong list 5x5. You know that I swear by the strong list 5x5, but we also talked about how hysteria, paranoia can either help you or hurt you. So, and I don't want to get into the strong lifts and the big butt 5x5. I don't want to get into that analogy because that was sort of a private conversation. But explain to us how hysteria, paranoia can help and hurt men, and how it can help and hurt women.
Okay, well, first let's start with hysteria. So women, they don't have a strong fixed identity. They're endlessly questioning. This could take the form of a shit test. So I mean, all of us have been here. A woman will say, why do you love me? How do I know you love me? How do I know that you love who I am and not who you want me to be? Why do you love me? And am I that person? Like, so the questions, they never end. And so the natural response for a man is to say, like, answer, like this is why. They'll move into paranoia. They'll give them concrete answers, and those answers are only going to be questioned. So it just feeds into the cycle. You know, if you start yelling at your woman, like, you know, what do you want from me? She responds with a question, which is to say, why are you yelling at me?
There you go.
Which is more hysteria. So even in her rejection of her own hysteria, she continues her hysteria. So the only way out is you have to out hysteria her.
Oh.
You like, so two negatives make a positive, right?
Sure. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So I think 2 years ago I was on the show with Samantha Bee. She was saying Donald Trump is a media whore. And then, so she has this definition of media whore, and she's questioned, like, why do you support Donald Trump if he's a media whore? Okay. And my answer was, well, you're whoring off of his whoring. like you're more of a whore. Like, you need him to be a whore so you could whore off of him, right?
Right.
So I guess my question to her was be like, what problem do you have with Donald Trump if you yourself are a media whore, right?
Right.
And then if you watch the exchange, she goes, well, I'm a whore too. So that's her making a definite, like a definite answer.
Right.
And as soon as they make that definite answer, you plug that answer back into all of their questions.
Wow.
So
and you notice your answer compared to you. She asked you, why do you support Donald Trump? Right. She says Donald Trump is a media whore. Why do you support him? And your answer, like a man, logical. Well, you're whoring off of his media whoredom. Right. And she honestly, she probably didn't fully comprehend what you were saying, because again, she was trying to out hysteria your hysteria.
Right. So don't answer their questions. Ask questions about their questions. They're going to have to make a concrete statement at some point.
Right.
And when they do, then you use their truth, and their truth will answer all of their questions. And it's like you solved an algebra problem. So Lacan, the person who developed all of this, in his books, he actually has those equations, and it will work along these equations.
Man, oh man. You know what's interesting? I can always tell because GLO, you're a deep thinker, man. And I can already tell you that at least half of the people in here are like, dude, what is this guy talking about? There are very precious few people who understand where you're coming from on that deep psychological level. But then we got this guy, Tony H, who says, looks always better, you blah, 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 blah. No, Tony H is a simple-minded fuck who doesn't understand things like this. But then you've got guys in here like King Frozen T who says exactly. People understand where you're coming from. I actually have a really good question here by Winston Wolf. He asks you, do you think identifiers can be used in the fake it till you make it phase? That's a very good question.
You got to be careful, because those identifiers are going to weigh you down. Wow. So okay, what happens is you go to school, okay, right? And at school they say they'll make you believe a whole bunch of stuff, that you love America, or that you care about freedom, or that you respect women, right? So now you've identified as an American respecter of women, freedom lover, right?
Right.
So now you're holding on to those identifiers, right? Wow. But then I can fuck you real hard by saying, well, because you respect women, now do this.
Oh my God.
So
you're being controlled by your identifiers.
Yeah. So feel free to identify with whatever you want, but don't let other people throw identifiers on you, because that will be used to fuck you later.
Oh my God, dude, that is
and that's the whole point of school, is to load you up with those identifiers. Let's say, oh, because you love America, jump in front of a machine gun.
Jesus Christ, man. Okay, so let's as we draw to a close here with this segment, what's the prescription? Because I believe that and again, Winston asks a very good question in the fake it till you make it thing. I believe that if you cling on to an identifier, for long enough, eventually you do become that person. You're no longer faking it till you making it. You really are it. So how can men in particular keep from What's the best thing to do to keep from, I guess, becoming the wrong identifier? How can men become themselves without getting permission from society in terms of what to be?
Well, I guess the solution is paranoia, right? So there's any number of ways you can get fucked.
Okay.
You can get fucked by taxes. You can get fucked by women. You could get fucked by the military, like any number of ways. And the only, like, you need to figure out what game they're playing so they can't fuck you. So the solution really is reading more so you know from what direction the dick's coming from.
Jesus Christ, man. Dude, shout out to Emotep Hook. He said, with the $5 super chat, says, y'all are dropping some serious science. The real DG says, this guy is gold. Mr. Napalm 313 says, this shit is awesome. Sean Anderson says, I might have to watch this like 50 times. See, I'm telling you, there are not many people out there who really think on your level. And I believe, and it didn't always used to be like this, GLO. I think you started off like the rest of us started off, okay? And you are one of the few people, you weren't red-pilled by a woman. You were red. Actually, go ahead and share with us, and I'll extend this a few more minutes. How did you find the red pill? How did the red pill find you? How did that happen?
Well, for my red pill path was a little bit different in that I loved working out, and I moved into personal training, and I had 6 female clients, and I had to wrangle them. And you have to keep women in their place. Otherwise, they don't train with you, and you don't get money, and you don't get food. So, I mean, I got red pilled by the whole sales process. So, being a personal trainer is like having 6 girlfriends at the same time.
Right.
And that's what happened to me. And, you know, sexually, I always did well. You know, yeah, I had some whatever breakups, but really it was the amount of female clients I had. I just got so much volume in terms of female experience that I figured it out like that.
Good stuff, man. Listen, I gotta have you on regularly, because I remember, oh my God, I think the very first time you and I had a phone conversation, I was actually still living in Reno. And I remember we were on the phone for like 2.5 hours discussing things like this. And it's become clear to me that you've done more thinking. Would you be opposed to maybe coming on once a week? I don't know, like maybe every Thursday at 2 o'clock. Maybe we call the segment.
Yeah, I can come in every other week.
Okay.
And we can have a lot of fun. And but to go back to your other caller, maybe the idea is complicated.
Yep.
But the application is easy with regards to hysteria. If she's asking questions, you ask her more questions, and just ride that bitch out. You have more energy than her, and she will become exhausted. She will not be able to speak anymore. And you just keep questioning her, and then you'll get that silence you really want.
Not only will you, here's what'll happen before you get that silence. She will make that concrete statement, right? At some point, she's got to answer one of your questions. And when you have finally mentally destroyed her, when you have mentally exhausted her, fine, I fucked that guy because I was a slut. Oh, she doesn't have it anymore. You win. That's how this goes.
Perfect. Exactly. So the theory is complicated. The application's easy.
The theory is complicated. The application is easy. GLO, listen, man, thanks for making time for us today. Listen, I would love to have you back on April the 25th. That's 2 weeks from today, dude. I'll send you a Google invites hangout. You are welcome on my show anytime, man. That was solid.
Perfect. Always glad to talk with you.
You the man, dude. I appreciate it. That is GLO. You can follow him on Twitter at, I think it's GLO Fitness or at Gaylube Oil. Not hard to find.
Gaylube Oil.
It's Gaylube Oil.
Not hard to find, yeah.
Not hard to find. It's sort of a trolly name, sort of a play on words there. Coming up, I'm going to tell you guys 2 lies you need to tell your woman and 2 lies you need to stop telling your woman. We'll be right back. Are bad parents. Single mothers are bad fucking parents. Let me be clear when I say this, gentlemen, so there's no mistaking what I'm saying. I have never, ever met a single mother who was a good mother.
Yes, my own mother included. For all you trolls out there who are waiting to pounce with that tired ass rebuttal. Well, was your single mother a bad mother? Yes, she was a bad fucking mother. She was fucking every nigga on the block, left us with our incapable father so that she could chase some nigga in Detroit. Yes, bad single mother, my mom included. Love my mom? She's a bad fucking mom. Every single mom I know is a bad mother. And guys, listen, I'm not exaggerating. I'm sure there are good mothers out there, but I have never met one. Ever. And no, and guys, just to be clear, I'm not talking about women who have a 1 week on, 1 week off custody arrangement with dad. Those are a little bit different. I'm talking about women who have full custody of her children, but they're still bad fucking moms. Single moms are selfish. They're impulsive. Listen, guys, they rarely think of their children when making decisions, especially when they're fucking other dudes. One chick I knew down in Vegas, she has a son who is so poorly behaved, and he's got an absentee father, and mom's, dude, this man brings all kinds of chaos. Dude, he has slashed her tires on more than one occasion. He showed up at her job, busted the windows out of her car. Dude, he destroyed her 70-inch plasma screen TV. And the kid, I feel sorry for the kid because his eyes are shining with intelligence, but he's a disrespectful little brat. He's always getting in trouble at daycare. Listen, this kid, unfortunately for him, is gonna end up in prison soon after he turns 18, and it might even happen sooner after that. I used to joke with her all the time, hey, you better get your bail money ready. She didn't like it, but she knew I was right. I knew a couple of black girls in North Carolina who both had 4 kids by 3 different dudes, but they somehow managed to find time to go to the club every weekend. If you guys take a closer look at the single moms that you know of, you guys will quickly see that they are bad parents. Just pay attention. And don't give me this, well, I know of a woman who goes to all of her son's basketball games. Well, maybe. But what you leave out is that she's on her phone, texting with the 5 dudes she's fucking, and has no idea what happened in the game. Now, her mother will tell her all about the game on the way to her house because her mom is once again watching them this weekend while she goes to the club that night, then comes back to pick them up the next afternoon with another fuckfest with whatever his name was this time at the club who bought me an Appletini. It's not enough that even kids raised by good single mothers, which again I haven't met yet, it's bad enough that those kids turn out fucked up. No, that's not enough. These bitches gotta be bad parents on top of that. Single moms are terrible parents by default. Period. Number 3. It's never their fault they're single mothers. Guys, single moms are single moms because they had unprotected sex with men they had no business having unprotected sex with. They were being hoes, decided to let a bunch of dudes raw dog them, and now they've got 3 kids. Oh, she'll tell you she was in a committed relationship and that she was the perfect girlfriend or the perfect wife, right? They always tell us this. She'll tell you she made her man 3 meals a day, took great care of the kids, took him to soccer practice, swim lessons, even signed him up for jiu-jitsu. Then she'll tell you that despite the fact she was the perfect woman in every way, that out of nowhere, for no reason at all, that her husband treated her like shit. Just all of a sudden out of the blue. He was an alcoholic, drug addict hybrid who fucked prostitutes while simultaneously gambling away their life savings. Then when he stumbled in at all hours of the night, he'd beat her, call her names, and rape her every night of the week, and she endured this for 5 long, painful years. But guys, that's never true, okay? She'll never tell you that she had a one-night stand with her boss, or that she went home with some dude from the club and forgot to take the morning after pill after she let him raw dog her all night. She'll never tell you that her boyfriend or husband found out that she was fucking multiple dudes for over a year and wasn't sure if all of his children were biologically his, so he left her ass. She'll never tell you that. She'll never tell you that she decided to divorce rape him after she started fucking her personal trainer at the gym. No, it is always the very worst case scenario, and she bears no responsibility or accountability for her single motherhood. Every single time without exception. That's how it is all the time. Number 4. God, fucking hell, man. Single moms are always broke. These bitches never have money, man. Listen, women with a bunch of kids are some broke ass bitches, guys. They never have money. And listen, never mind the fact that as women, they're naturally impulsive and aren't good with money in the first place, okay? If they have even one kid, most of her money in some way, shape, or form may go to the kid, and that's if she's even a half decent parent in the first place. Which again, I listen. Single moms, if you're a good single mom and you're watching this, hey, listen, I'm gonna have to meet you. I've never met a good single mom in my life. Maybe I will one day. Haven't met him yet. I just turned 40. I don't know. I'm losing hope. Single mothers or single moms, they're money pits. Guys, trust and believe that if you ever date one, you're going to be paying for everything, every step of the way. Listen, you want to go to the movies? Well, you want to take your single mom girlfriend out to the movies? Guess what? You'll be paying for her ticket. You'll be paying for your ticket, her 3 kids' tickets, and then another $60 for snacks and drinks. All right, going out to eat, guys. She's not even going to pony up the money for the tip. Want to go on a weekend getaway? She'll bring all of her kids because she wants them to experience things she knows she can't and won't do on her own without you. And guess who foots the bill? You do, every time, without exception. Listen, a single mom will never tell you, hey, let's go to the beach. My treat, it's on me. You're never going to hear her say that.
Bitch, get out of ways, I'm so lit. All this bond, baby, you chosen. If not, don't stay, you a nuisance. Bitch, get out my face. You flexing in a 96 Chevy. Baby, start running when the shit get heavy. Same chicks, never let the crew get ahead of message.
Like the beat is hot. Devin actually likes Dick Police by Will the Coldest. But I think this is the first song I ever heard Will the Coldest. And dude, the beat is chill. Love that shit, man. Love that shit. And listen, I actually have to I gotta take Dick Police and somehow weave it into my Dick Police. Like I've got a Dick Police sound effect. Hang on a second. Here we go. See? That's my Dick Police. That right there is my Dick Police sound. And then, of course, if I get haters on the line.
Oh, man. Hey.
But I gotta put that Dick Police right behind that siren. I think that would give it much more impact. I think it would be a lot funnier. Good to have you guys in here on a Thursday. I'm actually going to have a show tomorrow, man. I asked a bunch of guests, hey, can you do a quick segment on, TSR Live this week? 15, 20 minutes, no big deal, blah, 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 blah. And normally, usually get a 50%, compliance response rate. Because, listen, man, guys are busy. They got other shit to do. They got their own shows. They got their own blogs. But every single person that I reached out to, every single dude said, yeah, I can come on. I'm like, shit. So now I'm having to move shit around. And I was like, dude, how am I going to squeeze all these dudes in? Well, the solution to one of the best problems to have is I'm just going to have a Friday show. So normally I'm going to do the show Monday through Thursday between 1 and 3-ish. I'm going to have a show on Friday. I'm going to have Goldman Unleashed on at 1 o'clock. And then at 2 o'clock, I'm going to have Anthony Johnson on to talk about the 21 Convention Patriarch Edition. So I'm very, very much looking forward to that. I like having my Fridays off, but hey, man, we got the demand. I gotta have the supply. So my premature thanks goes to Goldman as well as Anthony Johnson. I actually met Goldman at the 21 Convention for the first time, and solid guy, knows his shit. He's got an excellent blog. I'll put all his stuff in the chat. So there are men in the red pill, men, purveyors of the red pill like myself, always like this. Some guys like to say you should never, ever, ever lie to a female. Steve the Dean Williams, he endorses, hey, listen, you should never, ever, ever lie to a female. Be a man, be fucking straight up, let the chips fall where they may. I totally agree with that. Then you've got guys like Alpha Male Strategies who says, listen, man, bitches lie to us, we should lie to them. I agree with that sentiment. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I think there are times that you need to be, this should never be 100% full disclosure with women. You're going to say some shit that she doesn't need to hear and that you're probably going to regret saying to her. But by the same token, full disclosure doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't a few, staying away from full disclosure, just being 100% truthful all the time, doesn't mean that there aren't things that you should keep away from her. There aren't things that you should, I guess, lie about, for lack of a better term. These aren't white lies. These are just things that you should just straight up lie to her about, just to keep the peace. Now, so what I'm going to do in this particular segment, I'm going to give you guys two lies that you should stop telling your woman, and two lies that you should definitely start telling your women, right? Men lie to their women all the time. There are things that you should not lie about, and then there are things that you should definitely be dishonest with. Shout out to Thaddeus Scott for the Spanking the Butt Cheek Off Fund. Yeah, I can't play that on YouTube anymore. Can't do that. I'd love to show Devin's, heart-shaped ass on the screen. Can't do it anymore. I got to keep my channel. We'll see what happens from there. Maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to give you two lies that you men need to stop telling your women, and two lies that you need to start. So we're going to start with two lies that you need to stop telling your woman. The first lie: no, I was there. No, I was not looking at her ass. Of course not. I was not looking at this girl, whatever. Now keep in mind, guys, there is a qualification to this. We're talking about main chicks. We're not talking about side chicks. We're not talking about fuck buddies. We're talking about main chicks. I talked about this particular concept and discussed a specific situation way back in episode 37. Take a listen.
Well, anyway, we've been dating for a while, and one afternoon we were out shopping, and this was right around Thanksgiving, and this chick walks right by us, and I turned around and looked at her ass when she passed. No, I didn't turn around and look at her ass, but it was clear that I was looking at her ass as she passed by. Well, the girl I was with freaked out, and she said, and we're out in public, she says, did you just look at her with me standing right here? And I said, I kind of just shrugged my shoulders. I said, yeah, what's the big deal? And so she gets all stupid. She's like, you disrespectful asshole. So I say to her, calm down. You're being a drama queen. So then she says, okay, you look at some random girl in front of me, and instead of apologizing, you call me a fucking drama queen. At that point, I didn't want it to escalate. I'd had enough. So I said, grab your shit. We're leaving. And then I added, and you're making stir fry tonight, because I knew what would happen. Well, predictably, she laughed and sarcastically and said, oh, wait, you expect me to cook for you after this? Fuck you, I'm not making you shit. I said, fine, I'm taking you home. She said, good. She had to have the last word. I didn't say a word to her the entire ride to her place, but the whole time she bitched and moaned. She called me names. She told me I wasn't shit. She told me I can't do this anymore. Well, I dropped her off and I went home and proceeded to make my stir fry. Now, to her credit, she held out a little longer than I thought, but okay. She eventually called me, came over that night, apologized for being a drama queen, and turned on the slut antics as usual. And of course, I fucked her brains out.
Now, I just said that you should lie. This is a lie that you should not tell females, right? So a lie that men always do. Well, no, of course I wasn't looking at her ass, but Donovan. Some of you are probably thinking, you told her the truth and it worked out great. Well, she was kind of sort of my main chick, right? But I never, ever, ever, ever considered her for long-term relationship material. This, of course, is Chrissy, the fake-titted Mexican chick with hair all the way down past her ass. And again, you have to understand this. Think of it this way. As a man with red pill awareness, how seriously could I take a 22-year-old with a boob job that she conned out of a rich guy who is as dumb as a cardboard box, who has no interest in learning how to cook? How can I take her seriously? Was she hot? You bet your fucking ass she was. This girl was a hard 10, as in she got marriage proposals from men with 8-figure net worth on the regular. She was that kind of hot. But I never took her seriously, not for a second. And that's why I told her straight up, yeah, I checked out that bitch's ass in front of you. But if you actually like the woman that you're with, if there are feelings involved, if you are in a relationship, if it's your girlfriend or wife, don't get caught. Guys, girls aren't stupid. They know when you're looking at other girls. If they see you looking at other girls, they get insecure, which is good for side chicks,
Bad for main chicks. Listen, you want your side chick to feel dread all the time, not your main chick. Yes, you want your main chick to stay motivated, but you keep her motivated by keeping yourself together. Girls will notice you, and your girl will notice girls noticing you. You don't have to flirt with other girls. Again, this is passive dread. You have to flirt with other girls to motivate your woman if you have your shit together. She sees girls looking at you and flirting with you, so there's no need to proactively activate dread with your main chick. She will see and hear enough proof that girls want to fuck you without your help. Trust me. So if she asks you, did you just look at that girl's ass? Tell her no. Guys, this is how it works, man. If she accuses you of lying, say, you asked a question, I answered it. This conversation is over, and leave it at that. But in the future, you don't have to lie if you don't get caught. The second lie that you need to tell your woman, okay, is no, I haven't cheated on you. Guys, listen, never, ever, ever admit that you have cheated on your main chick, guys. It opens up a world of trouble. Again, some of you guys might think, dread game, but that's with fuck buddies. That's with friends with benefits. Listen, fuck buddies respond well to bad treatment, which is why she's your fuck buddy and not your main chick. Your main chick, gentlemen, should never, ever find out you've cheated. Because if she takes you back after she finds out, two very bad things are going to happen. Number one, she might plan to cheat on you to return the favor. Think Orenthal James Simpson, a.k.a. O.J. Simpson. Number two, it places her into the side chick category. So your main chick finds out you cheated on her. She takes you back. She's rewarding bad behavior. Now you think less of her for tolerating that fucked up behavior. A woman might be 99.9% certain that you're cheating. But unless she has proof, as in pictures, videos, text messages, she won't believe it if you don't admit it. So if a woman comes at you with, well, this person said this, and I saw that, and I think this, do not admit anything. So long as she doesn't hear it come out of your mouth, so long as she doesn't see it on video or pictures or anything like that, you have never cheated as far as you're concerned. This is where the female rationalization hamster comes in handy for men. Okay? The truth might be staring her right in the face, but unless she has hard evidence or an admission from you, she can't allow herself to believe you actually cheated. Here are two things that you need to stop lying to your woman about. The first lie you need to quit telling your woman is, I trust you 100%. Guys, I'm here to tell you, no man, red pill aware or otherwise, blue pill or what, no man completely trusts his woman. Nobody does. Listen, man, we all know in 2019, women get dick thrown at them all the time. She has a device that can not only summon cock, they can hide it from you and summon other cocks and hide that from you. It is easier for women to cheat now than it ever has been in human history, guys. Plus, feminism tells them that they're empowered when they cheat to teach them a lesson and show him your worth. If other guys fuck you, then that means your worth is higher. This is that inverse projection we've talked about. Females know that the more women a man fucks, the higher his sexual value is. Doesn't work the same for women, but women haven't seemed to figure that out yet because they're still riding dick on a carousel. Women don't understand that sexual arousal doesn't equal respect. I said it in my intro. Just because I like fucking you doesn't mean I actually like you. Women foolishly believe, well, he wants to fuck me, so surely he must respect me. Men always say, I trust her 100%. If she goes out for girls' night out, I trust her. Or if she goes to the bar, I trust her. Then when they have a problem, they say, well, it's not you I don't trust. I don't trust them. Guys, I've said this before. I've dated girls. I couldn't trust them as far as I could throw them. But I didn't have the balls to say, you know what? I don't fucking trust you. You're not going anywhere. Oh, you are? All right, cool. Well, then it's over. Never had the balls to say that. I'm always, well, it's not really you I don't trust. It's the other guys I don't trust.
Then women manipulate you with, well, if we don't have trust, we don't have anything. Well, I guess we don't have anything then. Right? Or if they say, well, what's wrong? You don't trust me? The answer, sweetheart, I don't trust anybody. When you lie to your woman and tell her that you trust her, you are eliminating your ability to stop behavior conducive to infidelity. Let me see your phone. You said you trusted me, right? Let me see your phone. Well, you said you trusted me. Why do you want to see my phone? Who were you with last night? Well, why do you want to know? You said you trusted me. I'm not comfortable with you going to lunch with Steve and with Kevin in sales every day. Well, you said you trusted me. Why is there a problem with that? A female's definition of trust, as far as her boyfriend is concerned, is leaving her alone so she can suck Kevin's dick in his car after lunch. Females only play the trust card. Listen very closely. Females only play the trust card when they want to create enough space for her to cheat. If we don't have trust, when they play the trust card, they want to create that margin so they can cheat. If you want to show me you trust me, don't look at my phone. If you want to show me you trust me, don't pop up at my job. If you want to show me you trust me, don't ask me about where I was last night. Women who are serial cheaters, they don't like being with possessive or controlling men. A female's definition of a healthy relationship is a relationship where it's easy to cheat. A female's definition of a toxic relationship is a relationship where it's hard to cheat. Women have no idea what possessive and controlling means, but they think it means a man who wants to know where she is, what she's doing, and who she's doing it with. And because she wants to be able to cheat anytime she wants, she avoids men who call her out on her bad behavior. She avoids men who doesn't put up with her bullshit. She avoids men who nip her bad habits in the bud from the jump. Guys, I've had a lot of sluts who wanted to be my main chick over the years. But as soon as I let them know they've got to give me access to her phone and delete all of her social media accounts, all of a sudden they want to explore their options. Good riddance, ho. Never, ever tell your woman you trust her because you both know it's not true. The second lie that you need to stop telling your woman, of course I never fucked her. There are too many dudes who fail this shit test. Did you fuck her? Of course not. Guys, she needs to know. If you fucked her, tell her yeah. Again, don't proactively tell her, right? Listen, standard game doctrine. Discovery is far more powerful than disclosure. If you tell her, yeah, that girl over there, I fucked her, she's not going to believe you. But when you run into your ex, your woman's going to know you fucked her. When you run into a girl you fucked before, your female, your woman is going to know you fucked her, gentlemen. But she's going to ask you anyway to see if you've got the balls to tell her the truth. Pre-selection, gentlemen. Knowing that you fucked girl X, Y, or Z, that confirms your attractiveness. Guys, women are hive-minded. They don't trust their own judgment, so they rely on other women to sign off on you. I'll give you an example. If you and your woman go to a party and other pretty women are giving you attention, that's pre-selection. If you are out and about and you're running into women that you have fucked and you admit that, yeah, I fucked them, okay? That's pre-selection. A woman could have a boyfriend who is the love child of Shamar Moore, Chris Hemsworth, and Idris Elba. But if she doesn't see other females indirectly signing off on your attractiveness by looking in your direction, openly flirting with you, trying to get your attention, she's going to think to herself, you know what? Maybe this guy isn't really as attractive as I thought. And the reason they think this is because other females aren't showing that they're attracted to you. This is what's called hive mind. Right? Your woman needs to know. Listen, if you tell her you didn't fuck her, she'll know that you're afraid of her and that she can manipulate you. Guess what happens, guys? That she loses attraction. Your woman needs to know that she is not the first attractive female you have fucked, and that if she doesn't keep her shit together, she will not be the last. When you first meet, guess what, guys? She's definitely going through your Facebook. Let her see you with hot girls. She's definitely going through your Twitter. Let her see you with hot girls. Right? Listen, Devin is working from home today. I've got pictures of me with hot girls right here. That's to show you guys that I'm not full of shit, number one. Number two, That just confirms pre-selection. Devin knows, dude. Devin knows I used to run through hoes, man. She knows I don't fuck with ugly bitches. Don't deny if she asks you, did you fuck her? If she asks you, did you fuck her? Shrug her shoulders, say, yep, I did. And leave it at that. And if she acts like she's got a problem with it, tell her this. Say, wait. Say what? Did you think you're the only girl I've ever fucked in my life? And leave it at that. Shout out to Tia and Tom with the $5 super chat. Says, I wish men like you and my father would come back. My father left my mom for his white mistress when I was 3. I wish black men weren't divesting. I don't know if Tia and Tom is a man or a woman. But if you're in here to shame me for fucking white girls, listen, you can give me a $500 super chat. I don't give a fuck. I don't need you or anyone else telling me, well, I wish black men would start dating black women. Sweetheart, I ain't the problem. The problem is black women. If you want black men to start dating black women again, don't talk to us. Listen, man, we gave y'all hundreds of years to keep us. But black women fucked it up. And now that we have divested, or whatever the fuck that means, I'm not a scholar. Now that we've divested, now we all want to cry, oh, where have all the black men gone? Psh, ask black women. Ask black women. Good stuff. When we come back, I'm going to give you guys 6 ways, 6 strategies, 6 ways to shit test women. Don't go anywhere.
One thing that I always say, that I've said time and time again, is that women cheat in the margins. They cheat during times you wouldn't expect them to, and they cheat during circumstances where they could explain themselves out of it. In other words, plausible deniability. Like, it's not obvious that she's cheating, but she could have been doing something else. That's what I call the margins. And guys, a lot of these girls, they're fucking pros at it. All right. In episode 57, I talked about 4 techniques that women use to set up future cheating. And unless you know that they're coming, listen, you wouldn't be able to tell what she's doing. Now, sure, guys, if she said she's working late, or if she goes out with her friends on a Friday night and doesn't come back till the next morning, you know she's up under somebody getting banged out. Like, you don't have to be a red pill aware male to know that. But in 2017, guys, women are professional cheaters, and these days they do it in the margins. The lunch date situation, the lunch situation with Steve at the office, that's not a good example, because most men, red pill or blue pill, would definitely suspect that something was going on. Where females really get diabolical is when they do things like run to the store for 45 minutes, stop by Eric's house, get fucked by him for 15 minutes, shop at the store for 15, then come back home. I see that shit happening all the time, and guess what, guys? I've been both dudes in that situation. I've been the dude fucking her on the way to the store, and I've been the dude getting cheated on when she was on her way to the store. So I know this happens because I've been on both sides of that equation. They also like doing things like taking pictures in places they tell their men that they'll be at a specific day and time before they actually get there. The little snippet I you guys heard in my introduction. Something is vibrating on my desk. In the introduction, that was what was in the introduction. Then what they'll do is they'll post it on social media for him to see while at her side dude's house getting fucked in the ass, and he's none the wiser. And I talked about that specifically in episode 83. Other strategies women like to use is texting apps to keep in touch with dudes they're fucking on the side. So rather than texting from their phones where there's no record of it, she uses these texting apps that aren't tracked by her provider. All she has to do if he gets suspicious is delete the app. Guys, listen, there are a shitload of other ways that women use technologies to create the margins to cheat on men, but you guys get the idea. Listen, do a Google search, clever ways women cheat, and you will be shocked at what you see, even for today. I shit you not. The only way to discourage this behavior, put a keylogger on her phone. This way, whatever she types on her phone, you'll see. And make sure she knows you've put it on her phone. If she won't let you, drop her. A woman who will not allow you to access a woman who will not allow you access to her phone is a woman who doesn't really want to be with you, and a woman who wants to cheat but not get caught. That's why she doesn't want you near her phone. Ladies, if you want to be with a man, okay, and you want him to trust you and not suspect that you're fucking around, you're going to have to give up all autonomy. All right, you're going to give up your privacy. If you're unwilling to do that, then a man of value is going to be unwilling to commit to you guys long term. And this is funny, man. Like a lot of girls out there are with dudes that they know they're lucky to be with, but years down the line, when they're wondering why he hasn't popped the question or why he hasn't asked her to move in or take the relationship to another level, she's always confused. But the main reason is he doesn't trust her. He sees her on her phone all the time. He sees her leaving the room to make phone calls. He sees her tilt her phone so he can't see it when she's texting or when she gets a text. Men like this, ladies, don't commit to women who won't allow themselves to monitor to get their activities monitored on their phone. No, he will never trust you, especially if he is red pill aware, nor should he be. But if you give him access to your phone, you can at least show him that you're willing to be kept in line. Now, if she does let you have access to her phone, if she does let you put a keylogger on her phone, once again, you have shown her that you don't trust her, but she's staying with you. Again, this proves that you don't have to trust your woman within the context of a sexual relationship with her. And listen, and I'll say this definitively, any woman who doesn't give you complete access to her phone, her computer, her tablet, and all of her devices is a woman who isn't ready for your long-term commitment. Bottom line.
I ain't to the love, baby girl bad. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. I ain't finna lie, but baby girl fine. She got some melanin.
Welcome back to episode 435 of TSR Live. Breaking news. Devin got the tick off of my dog Cooper, my Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. I think right at the beginning of the third segment, segment 3, Devin discovered a tick on Cooper, and Cooper is now tick-free. So nothing to worry about there. And Devin is making me pepperoni bread for my post-show meal. Not exactly keto-friendly, but I'm always very, very hungry when I'm off the show. Tia and Tom is a female. Listen, Tia and Tom, I appreciate the $5 super chat. I do. But I do not allow females to comment on my channel. I just don't do it. No. Not here for it. Females always have some sort of ulterior motive. I know you probably think you're different, right? And I guess I should have been clued off by the bikini picture, but no. I don't give a fuck about female opinion. We've been listening to y'all bitches for 60 fucking years. 60 years! We've given you guys everything you want, and you have given us nothing but a big fuck you. So, when we create our own spaces on platforms like this, now listen, other guys who claim to be red pill or whatever like that, they allow females on their show. O'Shea Duke Jackson is one of these guys. Listen, love O'Shea, but he's got female mods on his channel, and they're all doctors. Dude, I'm not here for that. I'm not entertaining conversations with females. Listen, if you want to call and talk, listen, you're more than happy to call the show. 914-205-5356. But you are not going to come in and hijack the chat asking me why I don't date black women anymore. Listen, you want to know why I don't date black women anymore? DonovanSharpe.com. Or you can go to patreon.com/DonovanSharpe. Appreciate the $5 super chat, but no, you're a female, and I do not allow females to comment. Listen, you can listen all you want, and you can call the show. You're not going to comment. You want to know why I don't allow females to comment? Because commenting is easy. You really want to give me a piece of your mind? Give me a call. Do what's hard, but don't try to buy my attention with a super chat. I'm not here for it. Matter of fact, T and Tom, send me an email, tsr@DonovanSharpe.com. I'm going to refund your $5 super chat just to show you how serious I am. TSR@DonovanSharpe.com. I will PayPal you $5. I appreciate you watching the show. You can watch, you can watch, you can listen, and you can even call my show. There's the number on the screen. Nope. Don't do it. Don't do it. Excellent. Excellent. We all understand the concept of a woman who shit tests men. Of course, a shit test is just another name for a congruence test. Women shit test females, or I'm sorry, women shit test men when they feel themselves becoming attracted to them. When they feel themselves becoming aroused. Ooh, this guy is charming. He's debonair. Let's see if he really is who he presents himself to be. I have a boyfriend. Great. That means I don't have to spend money on you. Right? That is the answer to the shit test. Oh, you know, here, listen, you seem cool. Put your number in my phone. We'll hang out. I don't really give people my phone numbers. Yeah, I'm not normal people. Go on and do it. Those are the answers to shit tests. Well, contrary to popular belief here in the manosphere, men can shit test women. Men can shit test females. And I'm going to give you guys 6 ways you can shit test females. So here we go. Number 1, fish for feminism. Alan Roger Curry famously said most girls don't identify as feminists because they know that feminists are insufferable, fat, miserable bitches who live for bitching and complaining about everything with a penis. But, he said, most females have feminist beliefs. Most females believe in the ridiculous notion of an egalitarian relationship. Most females believe in this bullshit wage gap. Most females don't believe in traditional relationships where the man leads and the female follows. Most women believe that men and women are blank slate equals, as Rollo Tomasi likes to put it. So the way to ferret out whether or not she's a feminist, she's never going to tell you, I'm a feminist. Some girls actually will tell you at that point, listen, you know you're going to fuck her and chuck her. But don't ask her flat out, are you a feminist? Because she's going to say no. Ask her in an indirect way, right? So ask her, hey, listen, a buddy of mine dumped a girl because she's a feminist, right? A buddy of mine just dumped a girl because she doesn't want to take his last name when they get married. Gauge her reaction if she says, yeah, he had good reason. Just because she passes that shit test doesn't mean she's not a feminist. She might know it's coming. But if she says, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with a woman not taking a man's last name? You've got a feminist on your hands, which means you are not going to make her anything more than a fuck buddy. Number 2, the second way to shit test females. Fish for slut tells. Now, obviously, you can't ask, are you a slut? Obviously, right? But see if she endorses slutty behavior. For example, listen, a friend of mine just dumped his girl because he found out she was texting her ex. If she is potential long-term relationship material, she'll say, good, she doesn't need to be texting her ex. If she's a slut, she'll say, well, what's wrong with that? Or she'll say something like, well, it's just texting. It's not like she cheated on him. It's interesting. Devin has a very good friend of hers who is in sort of an on-again, off-again relationship with her boyfriend, right? Now, they sort of split up, right? She broke up with him, and she moved to the East Coast. I don't remember exactly. Well, she ended up fucking a dude. And so Devin, of course, called her on it, be like, look, if you're trying to get back together with your boyfriend, why are you fucking other dude? Well, he cheated too when we were together. Really? How did he cheat? Well, he was texting. He was texting with a girl. They sent each other nude pics. Texting nude pics, texting dick pics, that's not fucking, sweetie. See, a female will characterize it as cheating to give herself justification to go actually fuck a dude, right? All of a sudden, the standard for cheating is way down here when she wants to go off and get side dick, right? But when she does, but if she sucks a guy's dick and lets him fuck her in the ass, well, it's technically not cheating because I only sucked his dick and we had anal sex, so it wasn't vaginal sex, so technically it wasn't cheating. You see how that works? If she endorses these scenarios,
she will do it to you. Here's another example. My brother just found out his wife is going to lunch with a male coworker. If she doesn't think there's anything wrong with that, she's a slut. My dad's new girlfriend used to be a stripper. Yes, a stripper is a slut tell. My cousin's wife just got a male personal trainer. Watch her responses and reactions very closely, gentlemen. They tell you a lot. Here's the thing. You can tell a woman is potential you can't tell, rather, that a woman is potential long-term relationship material on the first date. It takes a while to figure out whether a woman is worth committing to long-term, but you can tell she's a slut in 5 minutes flat. Right? Listen, I don't know. Listen, I can't tell you which girls out here are long-term relationship material, but I can tell you which ones are not. Girls know what slut tells are, and they hide them very well. I say this all the time. Girls have the internet too. So most of them are very, very good at hiding these slut tells, at least for the first few dates. Some keep it going for a month. Some keep it going for even a little bit longer than that. But eventually, guys, those slut tells, they are going to show. I'll use my own girl. I'll use Devin as an example. I brag about Devin all the time. Not as much as I used to, but I brag about Devin all the time. Guys, she's got a hot body. She's above average in looks, which is good, but her body's out of this world. Anybody who follows me on social media, they know this. Devin's not a 10. Devin's a 7. She's a, listen, she's a 7. She, her body is an 8. In the face, she's a 6. Take the average of those both, you got a 7, right? You guys also know she can cook her ass off. She can cook her hot, smoking little ass off. Again, you'll find this on social media. But I've never said one time, not a one time, that Devin's a snowflake. You think I don't know she's fucked a shit ton of dudes, guys? You think I don't know that she was a slut with that fucking body before she met me? Right? You think I don't know that she's cheated on boyfriends? You think I don't know she's had one-night stands or hookups? Don't get it twisted, guys. Devin is a good woman. There's no doubt about it. That's why she's my main chick. But a snowflake, a unicorn, she is not. When we met, she had hoe tendencies, but they weren't readily apparent. It took me a while to figure them out, and when I did, I acted accordingly and trained them out of her, and trust me, it was far from easy. I just released a Patreon video, the difference between training a younger woman and an older woman. Devin was 32 when I met her. That is considered to be an older woman. Training bad behaviors out of older women, that's tough because they've had their bad habits for a lot longer. It took a while to train her out of these habits. When a woman acts a certain way for an extended period of time, eventually, gentlemen, those slut tells, they're going to show. Maybe it takes a month, maybe it takes 2 months, maybe it takes 6 months, but no woman can keep up the charade forever, Devin included. The point is, gentlemen, is there are a lot of girls out there who are experts at hiding their slut tells. I call this an expert at hide my notch countology. They have degrees in hide my notch countology, right? Those are the ones you got to watch out for. And that's what this shit test list is for. Again, you're not going to find out all at once. You can deploy these back to back, rapid fire, or you can't deploy these back to back rapid fire, or she's going to know what's going on. You got to sprinkle them in. You got to have the timing right. You can't just randomly ask, so, do you text your ex? No. You use the example that I talked about earlier. Listen, my friend dumped his girl because she was texting her ex. You have to pick your spots to deploy these at the right time when relevant. Shit test number 3. Try to fuck her on the first date. Yes, this is a shit test, gentlemen. Any female you fuck on the first date will not be a good girlfriend or a wife. If she fucks you on the first date, she's fucked other guys on the first date. You fuck a girl on the first date, she's a bona fide slut. You can't make her, you cannot have a relationship with her. And then they always say, well, I don't usually do this. I often refer to my friend Paul. I've actually known this guy since I was 19 years old. Guy is 6'3", underwear model looks, can have any woman he wants. And a conversation that he and I have a lot is, Girls need to protect me, Donovan, and Paul from myself. I'm gonna try to fuck you because I'm a guy and that's what I do. If I'm out with you, I'm sexually attracted to you. I'm a man, I'm gonna try to fuck you. But if you want to be in a long-term relationship, don't let me fuck you. Because if you let me fuck you, guess what? There's gonna be no long-term relationship. Listen, you might be a side chick, you might be a fuck buddy, you might be a one-night stand, never my girlfriend. You fuck a girl the first time you see her, that's a loss of respect. Just because I'm fucking you doesn't mean I'm considering a relationship. This is high-value guys, man. This is how we work. So if you're on a first date and a girl is kind, she's feminine, she has no discernible slut tells, etc., right? That's all well and good, but every girl puts on the good girl act on the first date, guys. Shit test her by trying to fuck you. If she lets you, she's a slut. If she doesn't, that doesn't mean she's long-term relationship material, but I'm not going to put you in the side chick category just yet. It could be just a ruse. Shit test number 3. Ask about her father. If her dad was an absentee father in and out of prison, that doesn't matter if you want to fuck her. If you just want to use it for a one-night stand, hey, listen, you got daddy issues, the more daddy issues, the better. But if you want a long-term relationship, she's out. Ask her if she was raised in a 2-parent home. Follow up with the father questions. Do you have a good relationship with your father today? How did her siblings treat her father? How did her mother treat her father? Here's another thing, guys. Just because you were raised in a 2-parent home does not mean she's not a slut. She might have had a weak father who mom cheated on, right? Alan Roger Curry once again says, listen, if she doesn't respect men by the time she gets to dating age, she never will. Number 4, ask her if she can cook. Guys, don't pussyfoot around. Don't be nebulous. Look her dead in the eye and say, can you cook? Listen, most girls say yes. Yeah, of course I can cook because they know that men like to cook. Men like women who can cook. But it's hot dogs and tater tots, right? She knows how to cook peanut butter and jelly and make me make an ice cream sundae. A lot of girls say no, they can't cook, and they take pride in it. These are feminists. Rollo says famously, girls refuse to acknowledge that they do anything specifically for a man's pleasure. Devin loves to cook. But do you think she likes walking around in stripper heels and next to nothing? Fuck no. But she does it because I like it and I require her to. Do you think she likes getting surprised butt fucked? No. But she does it. She allows me to do it because I like it and I require her to. Girls these days take pride in not making their men happy. Or at least not acknowledging it. So, if you ask her, well, can you cook? And she says yes, follow up with, well, what kind of food do you cook? Now you're going to see if she's lying. Girls will say, fuck men. I don't want to do anything for men. But they know high-value men stick with women who can cook. So if she likes you, of course she's going to say yes. So now you're going to quiz her on it. What kind of food do you cook? When Devin and I started talking, I did exactly the same thing. When I asked her if she can cook, she almost laughed. She's like, can I cook? Dude, she couldn't wait to send me pictures, man. She sent me all of these pictures of these beautiful meals that she had cooked, and I was sold. Listen, she could have taken that picture from anywhere, right? She sent a few more, same plates. So I was optimistic, right? The first time I visited her place, she made me the best pot roast I had ever had. I was sold. Guys, I ate myself sick. I could barely fuck her that night. Listen, again, you guys follow me on social media, you know Devin can cook. A woman who cannot or will not cook is selfish. Selfish women are sluts. And if she is a slut, the highest status she gets is the first chick you call if your woman is on her period. Number 5. As we draw to a close here, I've got a consultation at 3:30. I cannot believe I've been on the air for almost 2.5 hours. The prenup test, the prenuptial test. Now, men, listen, you shouldn't get married anyway, right? We get it. But if you're in a serious relationship, you need to hit the prenup test. Here's how you do this. A friend of mine is getting married, and he wanted a prenup from his fiancée, or something to that effect. Say that and just wait for her reaction. Don't say, well, what are your thoughts on this? Because she knows you're gauging her response. Just say, hey, a friend of mine is getting married and he wants a prenup. Just kind of mention it in passing. Like fake look at your phone and say, he asked for a prenup. That's interesting. She might not take the bait at the time, but she will eventually tell you what she thinks. She can't help herself. Just because she doesn't react to your prenup test doesn't mean she ain't thinking about it, guys. Obviously, if she's against prenups, get rid of her. I think that's fairly obvious. Not that prenups mean anything anyway, right? You shouldn't get married, but obviously that's one Richard Cooper brought up. So I'll give him the prenup test. I'll credit to Richard Cooper. If she is against prenups, then she is playing the long game. She may like you, but she only likes you. And at some point, she wants to transfer your resources to her. And the way she does this is either through marriage, having children with her, or both. That's how this works. The sixth and final shit test you can deploy with women is the door test. No, I'm not talking about if you unlock her door, let her in, and she reaches. No. Listen, it's 2019. Most cars have power doors. No. If you hold the door for a woman on the first date, a quality female will always say thank you. Every woman does. Again, putting her best foot forward to impress you. But if she keeps walking after you hold the door for her and doesn't wait for you, she is definitely a selfish slut. And here's why. Because a quality female, a woman who is long-term relationship worthy, she wants the man to lead. Sluts and feminists, they think they should lead. And they do this. They show this in nuanced ways, right? They walk ahead of you at the grocery store. They walk ahead of you when shopping. They always make it a point to stay in front of you. Guys, this is done subconsciously. It's how they're raised. But a woman who is worthy of a long-term relationship will allow you to lead. She'll walk behind you at the grocery store. When Devin and I used to go grocery shopping, I walk with the cart in front of Devin. Every once in a while, she'll break off to go grab something, but she never walks in front of me. I am always in front. And if I need to know where to go, I'll say, okay, we need pickles. Point me in the right direction. A man pushing a cart behind a woman with a list at the grocery store tells you everything you need to know about that relationship. The only time your woman should ever walk in front of you is at a restaurant when being led by the hostess to your table. You hold the door open, she waits for you, you grab her hand, you walk ahead of her, you approach the hostess, Donovan, party of two. When she says right this way, you pull your woman to the front of you, you walk ahead of her so that she can be seated first. This is how to be a gentleman and an alpha. This is the only way to do it. Put that on the table, please. And the only time your woman should ever walk ahead of you. That's the only other time. So if you hold the door open and she waits for you to grab her hand or for you to take the lead, again, she's passed that shit test. If she keeps walking on ahead of you, she's a selfish slut. Trust me on this one, guys. All right. Excellent show today. I actually considered coming on the air early today because, dude, this show was packed. Like, this show is full of solid gold. I mean, holy smokes, man. 2.5 hours. I'll tell you what, man. I think this new format, I think this new time and format is, I think it's working, man. I think it's working for me. I think it's working well. I think this is a very, very good time slot. Again, guys, definitely sign up for my newsletter. Anytime I get a couple of females in here who come in here, they get timed out, and I let them know I don't allow females to comment on my show. A lot of these females try to report and get my channel taken down. So listen, I've got 18 YouTube channels. I'm not going anywhere. If I don't broadcast here, I'm going to broadcast somewhere else. But if you're on my email list, you'll always know where to go to watch the show.
So again, anytime I get a bunch of females in here trolling, females will come in here and they'll troll and this and that and the other. They don't fight fair. They like to report channels and get channels taken down. This is just how it is. So just keep in mind, we had a couple of women in here and they got timed out and they got eliminated. Bitches don't fight fair. They like to get you deplatformed. So, and, on the off chance that happens after today, being on my email list will let you know where to go to watch the show tomorrow. Again, guys, I'm going to be on the air tomorrow at 1 Eastern for TSR Live, episode 436. I don't normally do Friday shows. I normally go Monday through Thursday, but I've got Goldman Unleashed coming on at 1 o'clock p.m. And I've got Anthony Johnson from 21 Studios of the 21 Convention coming on at 2 to talk about the 21 Convention Patriarch Edition, which happens May 3rd through May 5th. That's coming up here. I got to start getting ready for that. That's going to do it for this edition of TSR Live. My thanks to Ryan Stone and Gay Lube Oil for making appearances and dropping that solid gold. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
I ain't gonna lie, but baby girl bad. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. I ain't finna lie, but baby girl fine. She got some melanin in her. Yeah, she got that melanin in her. She got that melanin skin. For all the ladies with melanin that's comfortable in their element. You a natural baby, that's evident. All the shade they throw your way is irrelevant. That shade you rock can be like medicine. Always on point, I respect your regimen. But you was bred to win, so you don't really gotta try. Other bitches style jack and wonder why. Cause they wanna be like you. They be buying booty that you grew natural. But they be trying to tan so they look like you. Trying to keep a man so they cook like you. Light skinned, dark skinned, it don't even matter cause they